we're live.
Hello and welcome to Roll For It. This is your conscience speaking, and we're
Quick,
back
mute him,
playing
mute him,
VTM.
mute
It's
him,
been
mute
a
him. I don't
while.
need him talking. I don't need my conscience speaking to me right now. Can you
Oh, it's been a long time, but I finally managed to claw my way back from the depths for a brief moment to speak before I fall back and am never heard from again.
It's been 83 years.
I had to reference the old jokes. But yeah, welcome to Roll For It. We're playing some tabletop RPGs today with some of your favorite streamers, and we are playing VTM Silence of Shadows. I'm gonna be your announcer just for today, and I'm just gonna do the intros and then hand it over. Let the professionals get on with it. But of course, we have some announcements. Today's episode is supported by Combat Zerg. Thank you very much, Combat Zerg, for supporting us at the Legend tier, and I'm picking this episode. And also, we've got a couple of Patreon things going on. We've got the some stuff from Ascension, a lot of stuff happening there. So we've got the Soul Spire Floor 5. That post is out. Took me long enough, but I got it out there. And we also have the NPC names post coming soon, and even more goodies from Ascension, because we ended up having a fight with a friend. So we have their stats now. So you'll be able to check that out pretty soon. That's pretty much it for the stuff that's coming up. So I will just mention that you can support us. You can support this show using Patreon. That's the main way that we fund the shows, do all the things, pay cast, pay for art, all that kind of stuff. A whole bunch of different tiers that give you a whole bunch of different rewards, including but not limited to MP3s of all of our shows, after shows that we record after every show, where we talk about what happens in the show. You can get character sheets. You can get secret behind the scenes GM gubbins, enemy stats, and session plans and all that kind of thing. You can name NPCs. You can watch some videos where the admins talk about the events of the month and go into kind of more the business end of things. And if you're crazy, you can support at the Legend tier or Deity tier, where you get to be part of a once monthly game jam by a member of the Roll For It cast, which has been a popular one recently. There's been a lot of madness going on there, particularly with the Last Stitch. People are loving getting involved with that.
It's always really fun
if you
when
do want to
can
join
influence things.
Yeah, if you do want to join those, you may have to check if there's any room. But if you hang out on the Discord, you can usually find out if there's any spots opened up. So there's a bunch of other things you can do as well. You can support us on Twitch. You can drop us some bits. You can give us some tips. You can subscribe to us as well. That gives you emotes and badges and immediate access to our vaults. Normally you'd have to wait 24 hours for us to put them up on the YouTube, but if you're a Twitch subscriber, you can watch them immediately. But you can also become a YouTube member over on YouTube, of course. That gives you emotes and badges over there. Being a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, Patreon supporter, I'll give you access to our Discord. We can hang out with fans of the show and us and talk about what's going on. Been a lot of conversation in the Shadows chat recently.
A lot of theories
about
going
how on,
things flying around in that chat, which is one of my favorite parts of this game.
Yep, always good to see people talking in there. Lot of activity overall in the Discord recently. It's been lovely to see. We also love to see activity in other places too. Just talking to us in the Twitch chat, we love to see that. Commenting on the YouTube as well. You got to drown out the bots, because boys, there are a lot of those right now. And we also appreciate hearing from you on Twitter, on Facebook, on Reddit, and any of the other places that I might have forgotten. So please do tell us how things are going, what you're enjoying, what you want to see, and bring your friends along too, because they may find that they also love this ridiculous newish kind of show that we're doing here.
I'm gonna zoom in my camera because it's way too zoomed out. So be ready. My face is about to get closer.
I've always got a zoom to clip off the junk just everywhere.
Hang on. Right? We're working on it. No, we'll just go
Nailed
one out there.
There
a
you
little
go.
bit.
That looks
there we go. Perfect. Centered. Much better.
And with that, I think I'll hand it over. I will once again disappear into the void, never to hear from again, except for at the break and at the end. So take it away.
I'm not. Little do you know, I'm going to hand you the role of Sybil to take over from here on.
Oh God,
you are now Sybil.
Oh no.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm excited to play. For anybody who was not here last week, I will of course encourage you. Last episode was a fantastic one, and there's going to be a lot of information from last episode rolling into this one. So make sure you are caught up, or at least have a gist of an understanding as to what happened last episode, with the exception, of course, of Bub here. We don't need Bub to know what happened. And so, everybody, rouse check, please, for the night as we begin.
But I want to know.
You're gonna find out, but just by the words of the ladies. Okay. So Ollie's the only one who gained hunger, which makes sense. It's the trip is rather long, and not having food in between, and the dealing with just trying to keep yourself quiet and unseen while in Madison just takes its toll. But then this night, Ava and Dakota, you are within the movie theater, just enjoying a quiet night of conversation. You're expecting Ollie's return this night. And about a few hours in, on cue, the movie theater doors swing open, the moonlight spills in, and in walks Ollie with his heavy footsteps, the doors sliding shut behind him. Ollie, as I said, you've also had a rather long couple of nights with plenty of happenings to you. And so as you kind of come together, Dakota, is it visible?
What visible?
The change to your...
I would imagine that wearing a jacket. Well, it's.
Are you wearing a jacket? It's up to you.
It's a magical thing. So I would say she wouldn't have to not wear her jacket. So not at the moment. No, it's not visible.
Not at the moment.
No.
So
but what is visible is a big smile on
Okay.
Dakota's face. That is very visible.
Then that's what catches your eye, Ollie, as you step in and the doors shut behind you and the sounds of city light become more muted. Beaming at you is Dakota. The biggest grin on her face, her teeth just showing, and it looks genuine. You know Dakota smiling at you 99% of the time is a sarcastic, like, I'm biting my fucking tongue and I'm dealing with it. But there is genuine joy that is across her face.
Hey, you're back.
Am I in trouble? Did I?
Is he in trouble, Ava?
No,
I'm like
no.
looking around to see if there's something behind me that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, as you take a look around the movie theater, things look as though you left them not just 2 nights ago. No Halloween decorations are lingering or anything. It doesn't look like they threw a party.
Welcome back.
Yeah. It's a new look for you. The whole
What is?
ear to ear, like that looks authentic.
Are they showing?
No, the smile.
Oh, yeah, Ava and I had a really good night.
We did.
All right. Can I get some details? Something.
I look at Ava. I'm like, oh, what? We went out for Halloween.
I was invited to an exclusive party. An exclusive
Toreador Party.
That was at first I was invited to a Toreador only party, which was an interesting one. But then I was also invited to another party because I'm just that popular. And I was invited to a more interesting open kindred party at this really cool club that I brought Dakota to. It was
It's called the Painted Lady.
yes.
You may give me an intelligence streetwise check.
Sure. I should have some information on this.
What should you know out of the curiosity?
That she's a Nos. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, exactly. You know that the Painted Lady is a tattoo parlor, and a Nos runs it, though you don't know her name.
Right. That kind of sounds familiar. That's was ran by the Nos, right?
Yeah, Nos Lady. Edith.
Yeah.
We met her.
She's
lovely.
awesome. She just really puts it on the table. You know?
I mean,
In
that's kind of a
lots
kind
of
of a
different
Nos thing.
ways. Huh?
It's kind of a Nos thing. We're pretty forward, but well, most of us.
She was rather nice.
I mean, short of
not-
snitch, you met a Nos that ain't nice.
Nope. Well, the bouncer was kind of an asshole, but I'm working. I'll crack that shell.
All right. Well, okay. So you met you met Edith, and I mean, how'd it go? I mean, it's kind of weird hearing that. I mean, short of knowing that we're a coterie, it's not often you hear about a Toreador and a gangrel having a night out, a ladies' night out at that, and enjoying it. So,
Our company is enjoyable together sometimes, but last night I kind of look at Ava and I'm like, the invitation was for a specific purpose. Partying was a huge part of that.
Right. We enjoyed ourselves for a bit of time at her club, but there was a bit of business alongside the pleasure. She kind of had us take care of a small task for her near the train yard in our territory. So
Not in your territory, next to your territory.
next to the territory.
Dakota would be like,
Nonetheless,
it was not in our territory, not in our domain.
Not our domain, near it. Nonetheless, we took care of it.
It is taken care of.
We had to escort a.
you know what? Before you go into the details, you're using some really selective wording. That everything was taken care of and everything is just fine. Like you sound like your mom and dad just walked in and you're like, I promise I didn't break the fucking lamp. It wasn't me. It was the cat.
Well, how about this? We did break the lamp, but we replaced it. So you don't really know in that metaphor that we actually broke the lamp. The point of the matter is, Ollie, she asked us to help her move somebody into the city.
All right. I mean, that's
Unfortunately, this kindred is not on our side on the regular and most often time occasion of being an anarch.
all right.
But
You want to tell them the rest about this kindred?
no, we'll get there. That'll be the end of that'll be the cherry on the ice cream. So we decided it might be a good idea to possibly have some anarchs in our back pocket and let them be a good distraction.
All right.
Since we're trying to maybe, dispose of our sandwich problem.
Okay. So, I mean, not that it really matter. Like, they're anarchs all over the city. But what was the value in it? You didn't just do a bunch of dirty work for free.
Well,
Do you have a boon?
yeah.
From Edith herself.
Edith herself.
Good connection to have, regardless. And now that we've done a job and done it well for her, we'll definitely be seen more favorably.
Boon, Ollie, to you, knowing that the painted lady exists, only to know that a Nos, even you being yourself as integrated into the Nos network as you are, to not know her name, knows that she comes with power. But so them earning a boon from somebody that sits in a position of power in some regard, certainly means that a rather important task, at least personal tasks to her, boons aren't handed out for willy-nilly. And they didn't say minor boon.
Well, I guess if...
And we can go back to the club.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess it's good. That sounds like it's great for Ava, but you didn't exactly strike me as the clubbing type.
Well, it's only like 50% a club.
Okay.
It is a tattoo parlor on the front, so it's
And in the back.
and in the back, I guess.
Dakota rips her jacket off and shows you that on her right arm she has a brand new, very fresh tattoo.
Would you like to describe what it looks like to him?
It's like a bleeding crescent moon.
Tattoos aren't supposed to stick.
Yeah, that's When did you get that done?
Last night.
And it's still there. Yeah.
And it hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, so do real tattoos when you get them.
Yep,
But
sure.
that's not... Kind of like I walk up and like look at it.
Yep.
Is there anything like, does anything stick out about it aside from the fact that it's just a tattoo?
It genuinely just looks like a tattoo. Nothing bizarre. It is like you look into it, you don't see any like runes built into it. You don't smell like any bizarre vitae or anything on the front of it. Genuinely looks like a tattoo.
Ollie like moves his finger up under the mask and he touches his tongue and then like rubs it. It's not a fucking joke, is it?
And it doesn't come off.
Are you asking if
smear
it's
your
a temporary?
saliva.
Did you just ask me if that's a temp? Like a temporary tat?
I mean, I didn't ask. I just...
Dakota like slings her jacket back up and she's like, no. Like I said, it was rather painful and well earned. And, oh, Ava, tell him who else was getting a tattoo.
Wait,
Apparently,
Ava, you got a tattoo?
No, I did not get a tattoo.
That's a
Though it
shame.
may be something I consider in the future now that we have an invite back. I happened to hear him grunting in one of the rooms getting his tattoo, so he must have also been having a...
My concerns are growing for this place.
Yeah, you can tell him. Oh, yeah.
Nope, that part has not been brought
No,
to the
that's
table
fine.
yet.
That's fine. You don't need to.
The sheriff was also getting a tattoo there. So this, the tattoos that Kindred get are special. It's a way to atone for something that you've done in your life. And it's not like a normal kind tattoo, clearly. You're meant to reflect on something as you're getting it. So,
What do you think a kind tattoo is like?
I don't know, they just find some cool art or something and they're like, oh, I want to get this on my arm. I don't know.
You traveled in an odd crowd. I bet every one of you friends did tramp stamps, didn't they?
I've seen a lot of interesting tattoos in my time, yes. But no, I understand that tattoos are significant for Kine and Kindred alike, but for us, we can't normally get tattoos like this.
If it
No,
means
you're right.
anything, Ollie, it didn't feel like a regular tattoo.
I mean, if you want, remember, yeah, I was like, you could tell him too, like there was clearly some blood magic involved.
There might probably is blood magic involved in the whole process.
I kind of figured. If
But-
something like that's going to stick, it's going to
You
make
know.
sense.
That being said, Hodges was the one grunting
yeah.
behind closed doors.
Yeah, tell me about Dickface.
Well, I don't really
Well-
know because Ava didn't let me know while he was there. But
Probably for the best.
definitely for the best. Because I have to tell you both the best part of all of this. So, when Ava and I went to go pick up or help out this lost anarch, it's actually true that both a hound and 3 Camarilla ghouls were there to maybe stop this person from coming across the border into Chicago, and I distracted them.
Yeah, that was the plan, to distract them.
It worked.
Clearly it did, because we were successful.
And here's the thing. Oh, Anarch was not traveling alone. He had some
girl.
ghouls with him, a girl. She
I met her.
she dealt with them. So did he? I look at Ava, my eyes get to Ava, and she knows that's not true because she was with him the whole time.
Yeah, you're like, he didn't kill anybody. He literally put you to stake point with a crossbow and forced you to take him to
Yeah,
safety while
in
there
the
was
car.
the distraction of remember, because He looked to the girl and sent her off, and he made you take her to the car.
So
you know he's like, no, he
yeah.
didn't kill anybody as far as you know.
Took care of them.
She
Distracted?
shot the hound. That's true.
And the she
The
in
kid-
question, the who?
The ghoul, the anarch school.
Yeah, and she said kid.
She killed a Cameral hound
Correct.
and 3 ghouls.
The three ghouls part is where it gets a little fuzzy. Actually, they kind of attacked me because I was there, and for whatever reason, they thought Dakota had killed the hound, which is not true because I don't use guns. And that kid definitely shot Juan. So they.
Well, Juan was dust by the time the ghouls showed up.
That's
so.
true. Juan was gone, and they became rather suspicious because I was on site, and then they kind of attacked me. And I defended myself until the end. But the good news is, our anarch friend who came across the border is a gangrel. And they have no idea Ava or I were even there. So, I just say we I am going to pin it on our little gangrel anarch and be done with it. Because
Thankfully.
I love the idea that Hodges was laid up getting a tattoo while his hound failed his mission. Oops.
That is pretty rich, isn't it?
And then we went back and danced, and I got a tattoo, and then Ava and I had a sleepover here. It was rather great. Best Halloween ever.
Dakota,
I don't know. This
even
one time I
dressed
got
up.
candy and a blowjob. That was a pretty sweet fucking Halloween. You
Well,
guys did a lot.
Well, I never.
We went to a BDSM club.
Oh my
okay?
God.
I don't.
Oh my, yeah, there it is. This is a lot. This is a lot.
I don't think you can top that, Ollie.
Oh my God.
Okay,
The night that I had, I don't think you can top.
okay. By BDSM club, I think what Ava's trying to say is the other half of the painted lady is the pleasure part of the pain.
Oh, let me guess.
Yes.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Oh yeah.
That checks out. That checks out. All right.
But
Okay.
it was a lot of fun.
I bet it was.
And Ava, she's got a new Chad.
Just have one question before you continue laying it on, and you probably won't have to lay on anything after.
No, there's more.
Is this going to come back and bite us in the ass?
If it does, it'll only bite me in the ass. Who's gonna
Well,
believe that Ava helped?
You were muted that whole. Your mouth was moving until
Oh,
you got close
can you
enough
hear
where
me?
the sound.
Oh,
came.
sorry.
Yeah, you just got to be
Yes.
close enough to the
Go
mic.
closer. Who's gonna believe that Ava Heloise was even there? If anybody's gonna get bit in the ass, we all know it's my ass that gets bit. So
Well, if what you're saying is true, and all of the
and there is full-on alibi of Ava and I partying hard inside of the Painted Lady
exactly,
all night.
Brett can vouch for us.
Oh,
He saw
Brett!
us.
Oh, Ollie. Brett. This guy.
You know that name. You saw him once, one time. He flirted with Ava briefly, and that was it. He was a very beautiful-looking Toreador
This guy.
who is unabashedly.
What
He
a
is the epitome of
just total
perfection.
waste of
Is-
space.
He's like he's beautiful, but he's really dumb.
Yeah, he wants to fuck
Yes.
everything,
Every-
and he
yeah.
wants to become Keeper of Elysium. But
But he's
he
too
wants
dumb.
it so. But he all of his moves are so not subtle that he's been working on it for years and still not attained it because he just doesn't really do subtlety. So his political maneuvers are just too obvious.
Yeah. The flagpole.
Yes, the waste of space.
You know, he's a lot more than you guys.
Yeah, I bet.
It's fine. You wouldn't understand.
Look, you can polish a turd all day long, but at the end of the day, it's still a turd.
Well, Well, regardless, he's a good alibi. We spent some time with him.
And Edith said she had our back as
and
well.
Edith.
Because, of course, she doesn't also want to get caught for all this, so...
Sure, that makes sense.
I
And
guess
it's
what
what
I'm
you're
saying is, I got to give a big fuck you to the sheriff last night, and he has no idea, and I feel really, really good about that. And then I laid on a table and let some very beautiful woman carve into my flesh for an extended amount of time, and I have not felt this good in a while. And I got a gangrel back in the city. What's up?
I can appreciate your smile. It looks good on you. I'm afraid of what a bigger smile looks like to the city, though.
Why?
Did you look back at your previous night? Like, did you play it through your head there?
Oh yeah, Ava and I talked about it a lot.
Yeah, it sounds rough.
It was fun.
I believe you. I bet it was fun. It's a lot to take in.
Well,
Next
so
time,
you
Ollie,
could come
I'll take
with
you out
us.
for some fun. You need to have a fun night, like we did. I think it's been a while since you've had a
You
fun
have an
night,
invite
Ollie.
back.
I mean, let's be real, Ollie. Our last date was in the labyrinth.
Oh God, let's not.
I do love it. Like, the camera's looking at Ollie and Dakota, and just off camera, you hear Ava's, oh, God.
It was fun, and they didn't care that they were kindred there. And there were other no's.
Watch
not
as Brett
snitch.
openly fed in front of mortals in the
Brett
BDSM club.
openly did a lot of things. I guess what I'm saying is it was kind of nice to not have to hide who we are and to have a safe place to do it.
All right.
Next time I'm wearing pants, I look at Ava.
Thought the dress looked cute, but it's just me.
I look at her like, don't you say another word.
As the conversation seems to settle down, I'm curious if Ava wants to talk about the Toreador party that came before, as there was important things that happened there as well.
Right. I'll kind of glaze over the wine and dine that I had, but at the Toreador party that I was invited to prior to that, was held by Annabelle, who is a very prominent Toreador in the city. She has some pretty glamorous parties. The big announcement of the party was the return of Nero, a Toreador who has been in torpor in the city for a very long time, and he is now
It was a
back.
welcome home party.
Why? Why was he in torpor?
I don't know why he was in
You don't
torpor,
know why.
actually. That's a
You've
great
actually only
question.
heard the rumors of why he was what woke him. Something about dreaming of song. That's all you know.
Right. He did
Tell the best part. Tell the best part.
the best part.
About them not getting Prince.
About
Wasn't he the
Annabelle?
one yeah, Annabelle didn't get Prince,
Annabelle
right?
was trying to get Primogen, and she didn't get it.
Oh, I thought it was Prince.
Yes.
No, Primogen. She
Okay.
was a very powerful political player, made a play for Primogen, failed, sort of self-exiled herself, kind of disappeared from the public eye, but only emerged during her amazing parties that are invite only. And the last one was the last one that happened was the first one that Ava was ever invited to. And it was a all Toreador gathering that was a welcoming home to another Toreador who had been sleeping in Chicago for Ava doesn't know how long.
So, all in all, the reason that this is important is I think that the Toreadors of Chicago are also an ally that we could potentially have for whatever we need in the future. Annabelle is clearly somebody scorned by the current council, by the current Camarilla. And this Nero having weird dreams of music that woke him up. I don't really know what it all means, but I've been invited into their circles. So if we ever need those kinds of contacts in our future, it's clearly something that we now have available.
Well, this Nero guy. What else you know about him? Is he a neonate and silly?
You
don't
assume he's
know.
Ancile.
Yeah.
And you do know that he is a man out of time. It took him a week after waking up to acclimate because he's decades out of his time. Maybe even a century or more. Ava doesn't know, just taking the little hints that she's heard.
Centuries old, perhaps. It's hard to tell.
So you don't think it's funny at all that he woke up because he was dreaming? Kindred don't dream.
It
And
is.
he woke up in Chicago of all places.
It is rather interesting. I
Did you
don't
at least
know.
ask him what music was he hearing?
Not exactly my place to ask. At least not right
Annabelle
now.
kept him by her side the whole night.
All right.
I
Well, my night wasn't exactly great. Wasn't super easy.
I mean, it's Madison.
Yeah, I think Matthew's dying.
Dying.
Yeah,
He's like 30.
maybe
Younger
than best.
What's
Matthew
wrong?
looked like he was on the back ass end of 40 and quickly losing it. He said he was tired, and he looked more than tired. He looked like he had worked himself to the bone. He was constantly tired. I even offered him my blood, and he turned it down.
Well,
He didn't really want to say why. Didn't say exactly what was going on. But I've got some ideas. And see, he could do some of the same things that Hogwarts can do. And I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see for myself, because he made the second Rowan. And that's magic, right? That's pure, unadulterated breaking the laws that we understand.
yeah. What about,
And,
to get information out of him?
I got a couple of things. Well, first, when he left, something came through. Not like a living thing, but the space between wherever he's going, the destination is like a hall of sorts, and a leaf came through. I think we did this last time, right?
We
Like
did, but
the last
we were at the
episode.
very end, and we were just
Yeah.
like, "Brrr, get through,
Rushing
get
through
through.
it.
Yeah.
So I would like
Right.
to give this the time that it's due, as opposed
Sure.
to being like, and the leaf is here, and that's
Nah,
it. So
yeah, okay.
at that point,
Right.
like Ollie kind of reaches behind, and he has all these plastic bags that are kind of in themselves. He's got bags within bags within bags, and it kind of crinkles as you gently place it on a nearby table.
There was, and you show the one leaf with the black
And
spots.
within there, he kind of opens it up, and there's a leaf, but it's only along the stem and the veins. Occasional black speckles.
This came out when he went back, and I was in a house, so I know it's not like a window was open and a leaf blew in. This came out when he disappeared. He walked through an arch like it was a doorway, and he was gone. Now I'm not exactly a plant guy myself, but I've never seen a tree with black roots and black specks.
No, that's not.
And we
Right.
decided that this black stuff kind of looks like the
It
black.
was,
It's just like, because it doesn't look like
premature
it's not like a gradual gradient change of the color, right? That
Right.
kind of dying around the blackness. It's a out of place, just
Yeah.
pure pitch
The
void
premonition.
blackness.
Yeah.
And then last time Ava did a premonition, and to rehash or to watch Ava do it again, as so to speak, it was an endless falling,
Yeah.
a surrounding by nothingness. There is just, and then you landed on your feet. Grass surrounded you, and as you looked up, the nothingness dispersed into a dark fog with long, tall trees, some pine, some maple, but most of their leaves have fallen, dissipated. Naked, dead branches on all. And through those trees, as you stared, and looked through the fog to see, realizing you are simply alone, and a full moon is the only light that you have. You see the hunched over figure emerge from the dark brush, The speckled back with the spines all along its spine. Its jaw dropped with a drool as it limp charges you, howling this pained guttural howl to an empty area. And just as it reaches you, your eyes snap open. Just a reminder, just of what you saw.
Okay. So it's like it's like an infection. It's sick.
I mean,
Right.
Crowley did consistently speak of the abyss
He did.
and the veil between, so it's not something that the three of you wouldn't know of. It was always talked about.
We have hypothesized for a while that Sybil is trying to take down the barrier to the abyss. So
Yes.
if it's working and it's getting thinner, the doorway or whatever, it could be, things could be slipping through, and who's to say that it's not touching all kinds of other things, right?
That area, whatever it may be, is being affected first. But
The Fae place?
yeah, that where he's from, Matthew.
Did Matthew remind me, Bub? Did Matthew? I feel like he did. Did he say the hedge? I feel like he said the hedge a couple times while he was around you.
I think he said it once, but I have no idea what it is. I'm not even sure if I would remember that part of the trip. So
But
That's totally fine. That's fine. Sorry, I was about to
this
sneeze.
this place, Ava, that you saw, this woods, these creatures, if the abyss comes out and it touches everything, it's not just gonna affect us here. It's gonna affect them there. Or is
Yeah, that-
already affecting them there.
And I point to the leaf.
Right.
So what now?
I'm
I
not
mean,
sure.
if nothing else, I can't imagine the Fae are happy about it.
no, I would say not.
Probably not.
Matthew does want all kindred gone. He doesn't want us in there at all. He said it would be valuable to keep them out of the area, but if that's where it's thin, and this is coming through this void, this abyss. I mean, shit, we saw that lady, the real pretty lady. She wanted the bucket back from Crowley.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We've seen her before.
Wait, have you?
Yeah, me and Zach and Saito saw her in that house in Madison.
When they made the contract against the sheriff?
Yeah.
That was who they made the contract with.
Right.
Does Ava say that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We've
okay.
we've made the deal with her
Okay.
about the sheriff.
So she knew you.
She knew me, but I don't think she really
Interesting.
cares about me.
Well, if we don't want the abyss pouring into here, and they don't want it there, it seems like we once again have a potential ally.
The enemy of my enemy.
We could try to speak with her again.
I wonder if she'd let that fucking contract go on the sheriff so he'd cool his tits.
That seems easy enough. It seems like a freebie. Especially if we're going to be doing her a favor, because this seems like a real big fucking favor.
I think so.
How do we talk to her, though?
Maybe we try to get some help. But as far as reaching her, that, I don't know. That's going to be a hurdle in of its own, but we should figure
Do I
out.
know, Mathis?
There's a common thread between the two times that you've reached her, but what were you going to ask first, Ava?
Children. I remember Zach was bringing
Zach would have told
children
you
to
that
her.
the Fae were making deals. So Zach, I think, explained in one of his letters
Yes.
that what he was doing was for the camera. He basically was giving a child over once a year to
Yeah.
keep them sated. But that, you know, as far as you know now, that's long been broken.
That's done. Okay.
Like they're kind of been doing their own thing. There is a
Okay.
common thread though. Both
We take
times
the
you've seen
bucket.
her, the cabin is there.
We can take that bucket again.
And so you can go
Like
back to
Crowley
find the
took.
cabin in the woods and see if you
Yeah.
can find it. And if you can find it, that's been the only time that you've been able to get close to either the veil between or like any, or the only times you've ever seen her has been around that area.
Well, we could try to go once again back to good old Madison and try to find that cabin. We
The
at least
cabin was
know,
also in the labyrinth.
or we could once again go back down into the labyrinth.
Is it bad that I would choose the labyrinth before Madison?
I don't know. Me and Crowley happened to stumble upon that place. I have no idea how we would even get back to find that cabin. We
I don't have
got
a problem.
lost.
I don't have a problem going to Madison, but I also don't have a problem going to the labyrinth.
The labyrinth you stumbled across inside of
I
Chinatown.
hate being the deciding vote.
And it was like built. It was like weirdly like part of the wall or part of the like the earth, and it was like it seemed out of place, and yet it had been there forever. Again, labyrinth. There's no way to know if you're ever going to stumble across that thing in the labyrinth or not.
Yeah, I think Madison is probably the safer option here. Unless we want Snitch to help us get through the labyrinth again.
No, that could be a good play. And that could be a really good play, actually. This could be a big move to move Snitch into a position where he's trying to do better for the Nos. Max is no longer in place. The Nos's position is compromised up until Snitch serves its greater purpose. And if Bella sees him as a liability, the Nos are just wasted space.
Yeah, but isn't he more of a liability if he's helping us work against her? I don't know.
And there's no guarantee, to be fair to Ollie. Ollie would know there's no guarantee getting a hold of Snitch anytime soon. The last time you were made to wait a month before he showed up with the rat.
Oh.
Ever since the basically, I mean, to think, I think the characters already kind of pulled it together. Ever since the John breakout, he has been occupied.
I did have a conversation with him, telling him about how important it is to get with him in a timelier fashion than once a month.
Yes, and not saying that it would take a month, but there are things happening behind the scenes. The John situation is not resolved on the back
I
end
didn't think
yet.
so.
Yeah, that's going to take some time.
Look,
So,
I could get
depends on how
a
much
rat out.
Yeah, it depends on how much of a rush you want to head out there.
Depending on the I send out, he could be here in a week. He could be here in 6 weeks.
Well,
Snitch did say he was pretty damn busy.
Do I have to go?
it depends. It's not something I think that we immediately need to do. We could
don't know.
keep it on the back burner.
I feel like I might be on a bit of a time crunch. Because I asked about Rowan.
That's fair. Right.
If the hedges, or whatever the place is, the space between the maze that Matthew has gone to, if it's getting bleed through, how big is it? You know, is it just like the size of a room, or is it like worldwide? Because if it's super small, and the dark place, the abyss, bleeds through and consumes it, does all of that magic go away with it? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. The vision, it seemed endless, but it's hard to tell if that's how it actually is or not.
Well, she can't be the only one, right? That the fairy, she can't be the only one.
I think technically we saw two. So,
All right, so that shows that there's at least two.
right.
So, I'm gonna guess that they're probably not gonna want this space invaded. I'm gonna guess that the abyss bleeding over is probably eating them up a little bit. And the reason I say that is because if Matthew is dying, if Matthew is aging, they're probably not in a very good space themselves. And if that goes, my chance of ever putting Rowan back together is probably gone too. Matthew told me that the only way that I can potentially put Rowan back together is if my Rowan, the real Rowan, kills the Styx Rowan. And if that place goes, if the hedge or whatever goes, then
There's no chance.
he's gonna die anyway.
So we do have to do this. We have to help.
No, you don't. Rowan is my obligation. He's my problem. He's neither of yours. And I know you're down, right? I know you're down. You constantly got my back, but this is my cross to bear. And I'll figure it out. But something I could have some help with would be nice. Because I'm going to go back and I'm going to see Matthew sooner before later. I really need to acquire Mario Kart. You remember the old game Mario Kart?
Mario
like
Kart?
on...
Yeah, on several Nintendo platforms.
Yeah.
Not
Um,
sponsored.
What? What about it? Why do you need
I just promised him that I would go back and I would kick his ass a couple of times in Mario Kart.
Is that like a
Somebody needs a
metaphor,
reason for something, you know?
Or
No, I was pretty sure it's just straightforward. I told him I was a monster with Toad, and I'm going to ruin him.
Oh, well, that just begs the question which Mario Kart you're going to play him in. But
I don't understand anything the two of you are saying now in this conversation. I will go if you want me there. Or I could stay here and hold down the proverbial fort. But I really hate Madison.
I don't need you to go. Matthew made it very clear that he doesn't like any kindred except me, and I think he's really only tolerating me at best.
I mean, I
So
don't
you
know
wanna
anything
go-
about fae or fairies.
Shit, I don't know anything either.
But
I
here,
don't think any of us do.
I'll be honest, it would be really great to have that contract lifted. Ava, if you're gonna go talk to
Right.
this fae,
Yes.
maybe
can-
something in return for, I don't know, solving her problem. The problem.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a valuable trade. It would be easier for us to just go kill Hodges. Do you think it's any easier for us to go kill Sybil?
I guess not.
It's like asking for a cookie, but we're trading the whole goddamn cookie factory.
I'm just saying, if she could simply rip the fucking piece of paper up, it would be real nice and helpful for all of us.
Oh yeah, I think that's
I-
like that's a baby ask.
I don't know. Have you guys ever watched those movies when there's contracts dealt? Once it's dealt and signed, that's it.
No! I don't watch movies and I don't
my
play
God.
video games. That
You've read books, though, Dakota. There's got to be some. Do you read any fiction novels or
yeah,
anything
like don't make
that?
a deal with the devil.
Yes. I feel like this might be the same, where I've made the deal, and it's signed,
Yeah. Well,
and
the only
can't
person
really-
that's feeling the brunt end of it is us, because I firmly believe that he's taking that shit out on us. That he's under the effects of it. Which is fine if we just want to ride the Hodges train and we think we can handle it. But I don't want him coming to Ollie's bar and causing problems. Or what if he corners you, Ava?
Did you see what tattoo he was getting anyway?
You saw it was on his neck, and that's all you saw.
What the hell's he
No.
atoning for?
Who gives a fuck?
I don't know. There could be a lot of things.
Yeah, well,
Maybe he actually feels guilt.
maybe. Or maybe
Things he's done.
Yeah, okay.
you said there was blood magic in it, right? Maybe he's trying to get a little protection. What if that tattoo was of Dakota on his neck? That'd be ironic, but
And
at
kinda
the same time, maybe it was a way
weird.
to get him to stop thinking about it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I haven't seen him other than when Ova told me that he was there, and I'm trying to fucking stay away from him. It's like a ticking time bomb.
Well, look, if we're going to negotiate or speak with these fairy creatures, I could at least ask, but
Well, I'm going to see if I can get us a lead on some things. There's still lots of night left, and there's one more important piece.
What's
The
that?
writer of Layla the Vampire Slayer
Yeah.
is here. He's in Chicago.
Yes.
The great
His name again,
Darian
Darian?
lives here?
The D-Tuck himself.
All right. It's been a while since I've visited our little police friend. Maybe I can dig up an address.
Matthew said that he went home. And home, according to the back of the book, is Chicago.
Yeah.
I
But
love that he's just been right under our nose this whole time.
All we
See-
gotta do is find an address.
what I think is, and I think this bears more conversation, he was still talking with that old lady. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The old lady that took Rowan. You remember the
Oh.
woman you guys saw stuck in, you said you saw stuck in time? And she was, apparently, according to Matthew, she was a bit of a zealot. She was all about JC. Jesus,
oh, yeah.
this and
It
Jesus
was
that.
her house with all those fucking crosses.
Yeah. So,
And nasty cats.
she
Bella's
took
actually
Rowan.
nearby, purring.
Not you, Bella.
She took Rowan, and I think that she took Rowan to Darian, and Darian took Rowan to Layla because Layla saved his ass.
Okay. So what's the play? We find Darian and then what?
We play it real careful because there's a good chance that if they were on the run from Kindred, that he's holed up in some little, I don't even know, hole that's hella protected is my guess. So if we're gonna roll in, we gotta be real careful.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me start by trying to find an address. Then we can make a plan if we want to make contact with Darian. But knowing that he's deeply connected to Layla, and that's a huge piece of the puzzle, Ollie.
Yeah, because there's a good chance that Darian's gonna know where Layla is.
Yeah.
Which means that despite Crowley being gone, we might be able to free his daughter.
Yeah. We owe him that much. Okay, let me put some feet to the ground.
Right.
While you guys are gone to Madison, I'll see if I can't dig up some more information on Darian and keep things low-key for a while.
My quick question to you is, do you have your retainer built? Have you built him? Okay, cool. I'm going to have you make a roll as him because you're going to reach out to him, but he's the one that's going to have to make the roll to see if he can
Detective
find out.
Frank Haynes.
Frank Haynes is going to be making a wits investigation check. Does he have any specialties?
He's got all kinds of specialties.
What's he got?
That's a base 8 die pool for his wits investigation for
Yep,
the
that
record.
makes sense. Yep, that makes sense.
He does have streetwise crime.
I would go ahead and use a specialty. Yeah, I'd say his crime. Well, it's a streetwise specialty, so no, technically it's not. Gonna
It's not.
apply.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Oh my god, that was 8 die, y'all.
Wow.
That was
wow.
8 dice.
4 1 4 4 4 4 2
No.
3.
That's really
Come on.
unlucky.
That was just a bad roll, y'all.
That literally represents 1 week of him looking into things.
Okay.
So we'll say a week is going to roll by. What else did you need to, what else were you looking to get done other than that?
I mean,
during this week?
if he's Gould, I need to give him some blood, and like we need to just make our usual. I was trying to think if he was
Yeah,
working on anything else for us.
I meant the coterie as a whole. Is there anything you wanted to get done in that week time frame, or can we just be like bop a week because you guys are kindred, take your time, you're not super stressed?
No, I was gonna be staying at the boat, avoiding the bar, just because I don't want this Hodges thing to explode.
So he would reach back out to you, say everything that I like. All the obvious leads lead to not who you're looking for. All the obvious leads in the yellow pages and shit don't lead to the person you're looking for. So whoever this Darian Tuck is, this author, he's not in the books properly. He needs more time.
Okay,
And he's gonna.
that's
he
all
needs
right.
Another roll.
Give me another.
Oh yeah. Also, why did he have a hunger die in that roll?
I don't know. I think.
Not that it matters because
there,
he's
you're
not.
right.
Not that it matters.
It's because he had the sheep populates.
Yeah,
with
that does
one
it automatically
always.
one. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just do again.
I was still waiting on the message from Magnar.
Oh yeah, about the gold sales. Yep.
Okay, I got 3 that time.
So we'll go that first week. We'll do Magnar. Actually, will come back because you had given him. You had let him walk with 2 bars.
One.
Well, okay. For some reason, I thought
I told him it had many friends
Yes.
and it is to tread very lightly.
And he's basically going to come back with a deal basically of resources that we're going to trade. Because you want to offload how much of the gold? All of it to him? Or he's finding somebody who can smelt it, sell it, take care of it for you, and turn it into proper resource dots.
Yeah, we're trying to, exactly. We want to liquidate it down.
He will, actually, did we make a roll when you negotiated with him last time?
For what exactly?
What he would be able, I don't think we did. What this would end up coming back worth as. I don't think we did.
I do not know.
Don't worry about it. Okay. 3 nights in, you're at your bar. It's back to being open. Relatively busy for a Wednesday night, but nothing special. Haley's out front again and finally, back to work. And she's been incredibly thankful that the place is popped back open. And but it's Grant who's out there who ran a burger out to a table that ends up swinging back into the kitchen, throwing the door open. Hey, boss, Starbucks. What is Starburst is out there for you? Yeah. A busy night. And as you look out the window, there's like 4 people. It's not busy. He's just being lazy tonight. And he walks back over and starts flipping burgers.
Okay. All right. I'll go out to see.
Yep. As you step out, he just gives you kind of a nod and then looks past you or makes a motion to leave the place.
We'll go follow. I'll go to follow him.
Okay. He walks out the front door and to the alley where you initially made this deal, not too far, a couple buildings down, behind a dumpster where a couple of rats scurry away as he kicks the garbage just to make sure there's nobody kind of hiding around. He leans up against the wall, kind of reaches into his pocket, and actually brings out a half of the bar that you gave him, clearly sawed in half. And he kind of hefts it in his hand. All right, well, and he tosses it back at you as you quickly just catch it with one of your hands. Yeah, you weren't lying. Shit's real. Now, you said you had a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, but typically they're full bars, like how I gave it to you.
Yeah, well, wanted to keep half for myself in case you gave me something that wasn't real.
Have I lied to you before?
Evidence. Anyway.
Have I lied to you before?
Not yet. First time for everything. He reaches into his bag, crinkles out, pulls out a yellow Starburst and begins to unwrap it before he pops it into his mouth and just begins to obnoxiously chew. I can get you a little under $1 million if you got what you say you got.
All right.
It would come in installments, not all at once, multiple transfers.
That's fine.
But I want to take it all at once now. Get the bars there, securely put, and we make payments over the course of, say, the next 6 months.
What kind of insurance do I have?
My word. And he smiles. The fuck do you want? You
I
want a
don't know.
contract?
There's a first time for everything, Mag. Remember? You just said it to me.
Yeah, but we ain't doing exactly legitimate business by government standards. So, you got my word, you got my name, you got my number. If I do you wrong, take your shot.
All right. I'll bring it to you. You gonna be here a while?
We can set up a meeting place. I don't know if you want to do it right over here by your, and he looks around, your little mom and pop shop, but we can if you want.
Whatever's clever. Let's just move out of this area, and I'll drive it up.
Okay. He reaches in again into his jean pocket, pulls out a piece of paper, kind of pats himself down, eventually pulling out a pen, clicks it, and just starts scribbling really quickly before he jams this piece of paper into your palm of your hand. Meet me there. He looks to his watch. 6 hours. I'll get everything all set up. I'll get the guy who's going to take it. We'll get you your first payment tonight, just so you know that we're not going to fuck you over. And then we'll arrange payments for the next 6 months.
All right, we'll be there. I'm not going to be alone, just as a heads up.
I would be disappointed if you were.
All right, we'll see you there.
He's continuing to chew. He just swallows, nods, and leaves the alleyway. Now, he's basically, I'm willing to give you, turn the minus what bars have already gone out and those who already have their hands on bars that have these symbols. The rest, however, I'm willing to turn into 4 dots of limited resources that you pull from that are not renewable. So it's just a bank of 4 instead of having 5. Right. And if I'm like, hey, this costs a resource dot, you can just pull from it, but it's gone forever.
Sure.
Do we want to put that on the coterie sheet?
Totally up to you. This was Crowley's leftover gold. So whatever you want to do with it, but a limited of 4 dots of resources. So that's like little under a mil, somewhere around there. High 6 figures, low 7 figures.
Yeah, I was looking.
As far as the guy who you're gonna be dealing with, his name is Clive. If you want to write that down, he is an independent contractor. He presents himself as. He's the one who's going to be bringing you the payments once every 6 months.
Okay. Well, we'll take that information down.
Yeah.
So is it 4 dots every 6 months?
No, 4 altogether.
Just in totality over the time.
Accumulating over the course of 6 months to represent like a business deal and opportunities for role play and potentially things to go badly. If word ever gets out that money is being transferred. Not that it should, but you never fucking know.
All right. So I'm just going to add a merit.
Bye, Tracy.
Oh no.
Welcome back, Tracy.
I think I'm just going to add a merit to our domain.
Sure. It makes you just limited because like most resources are refreshed every month, mechanically. This is not. So that's all that matters. And if you want to write on in the notes as well, that there are, I think, 2 gold bars with Giovanni symbols out there still that have just been given away from prior deals before.
I think. Do we give one? Yeah.
There's a couple out there.
All right, I'll make a note.
A Bruja has one. A Bruja up north has one. Crowley paid him in a gold bar to use the.
For the.
So there is one floating out there, just like
And then
given.
I gave one. Did I give one to the butcher?
I think you
did.
did.
You gave the butcher cash.
Oh, you gave him cash?
That's right, because Ava gave me cash. You're right.
Yeah, you gave him you gave him 400, but he asked for 200. You gave him 400, and you're like, let's just keep this line available. Let's make this a thing.
Okay, cool. That's right. Thank you for that reminder.
And I gave one to the street doc.
Right, the street doctor. Okay. All right.
That's right, the street doctor.
That's the 2 set. That's the 2.
They're the 2.
That are out. Okay, so I've marked it. I added it, so we've got it. I know that one of Dakota's big interests was just seeding some of this cash into the domain itself, the
and I imagine that's happening over the course of a month, very slowly. You've been writing a list of the little shops that you want in the 8-block domain, so you kind of have a running idea.
Did we actually decide on those?
We did not
we have not
decide
sat down yet.
Nope, you've just written a list that has to get done as well. We'll definitely take care of that. But you're essentially seeding the stats of your domain while also furthering, alliances with these kinds so you can rely on them in the future, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all kind of happening slowly in the background. It's just not one of those. In one night, you go door to door and you're like, here's some cash. I'll see you later. Next door. Here's some cash. I'll see you later.
Okay.
All right. So other than that, was there anything else we wanted to take care of before we start moving on to the part where you discover Darian?
Nope. The only thing I'm doing is I'm keeping up the lingering kiss.
This might actually wrap up just around the corner, loose ends all together. Like just questioning plots as to what happened to all of the characters, because we aren't going to get a just around the corner season 2. Not a direct, at least not direct.
Not with those characters.
Kara, like all the real ones are somewhere within Arcadia still. Kara is dead. The stick figure version is dead. Ida is the stick figure version is Saren went missing forever ago, and Darian went missing forever ago. Now we know where Darian went at least, and Darian might know information for everybody else. So another week goes by. Eventually, Dakota, you hear a dull thumping on your boat. Just a dong dong dong. The dogs jump to attention.
Immediately I'm like, God damn it, the sheriff's here. And I'm like, maybe not. I guess I peek around the side, or I'll peer up out of the hole.
Yep,
yeah.
As you peer up, leaning up against the boat, taking a sip from a can of beer, is your dear boy.
It's not smart to drink on the docks. You might drown.
He looks up. I just didn't know if you were here. And he chugs the rest of it before it crunches the can and just kicks it over his shoulder into the water.
That makes Dakota angry.
Do me a favor. Don't throw your trash in my home, because next time I'm just going to come piss on your doorstep.
He just bites his bottom lip and starts climbing up the boat as he shakes his head.
Did you find anything about Darian?
Let's talk in your boat first and chill. Patience. Come on. As he gets up. You got anything to drink on this damn boat?
No. Not
We've
really.
been working together for how goddamn long? And every time I come, you still got. Can you do me a little something, a little hospitality for your goddamn guests every once in a while?
I bet I've got 3 of the beers from weeks ago when I met Amber for the first time that are shook. I shook them all up because we popped them open and spewed them. I'll toss them to him like, here.
You kind of toss one to him and he fumbles it but catches it. Thanks. And he just goes to sip it and he hands the beer back.
So there is something you won't fucking drink.
Oh God, it's so warm. And how old is that? It's flat.
I don't know. I don't drink beer.
Anyway, thanks so much. I'm so glad I work with you on a regular basis.
Are you done being a dick?
Yeah, I found your fucking man.
Good.
I snatch it from him and I hand him the next round of blood in return.
Here you go.
I very, very greedily takes it and begins to chug what blood you've kind of set aside for him.
Okay, I'll flip the file open. Do we have a location?
He actually he doesn't actually hand you a file. There's no he's here by himself. He has no manila envelope. He has no file.
Okay.
Nothing.
What did you find out?
That he is not here by his legal address is still in Madison.
Okay, so he's living in the city illegally?
At least not. Yeah, I guess he kind of shrugs. Is it? Mathis doesn't know if he's
I don't guess it
legally
is.
registered in Madison, is living in Chicago without an ID that
Technically
says that.
not, but he has to register one of the 2 as his legal address. So
Gotcha. Well, he's saying his legal address is still in Madison. I didn't even think to look. He told me this guy was in here. I didn't even think to look further out, but when I ran out of options, I spread the net a little bit.
Interesting. But he's from Chicago, and he said he was going home.
Frank just shrugs. He's over by Riverside, past Stickney, way out west. Little apartment.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Not under his name.
What's it under?
Leslie?
Leslie?
Yeah, do you know any Leslie?
No.
Yeah. Apparently that's I don't know if that's like his coven name or maybe he's rooming with someone or whatever, but yeah, here's the address is now he reaches in, pulls out another piece of paper, scribbles it down.
yeah, I'll take it when he's done.
Thank you. You have been very helpful tonight.
You're welcome.
Pocket.
You
that.
have sated my itch.
How romantic.
Pleasure doing business with you, kid.
Yeah. Hey. At some point, you're gonna...
And I kind of gesture to the beer that's now spilling out on my deck.
Are you ever gonna stop that?
Maybe when I retire.
You know that's gonna be a long time now, right?
I'll enjoy it for a long time then. And just kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder.
I give him a rather hard one back.
He's like, and thanks to you, I can explore and enjoy every alcohol and booze in this damn world.
If it means anything, I like you better sober.
If it means anything, you never met me sober. And he jumps off the boat.
I look at the boys and I was
Like, hey, go chase him to the edge of the docks.
The one that's all business just like growls and just at the stairs, and you just hear what the hey.
You know, if you didn't drink so much, you wouldn't be so fat and slow.
The other one actually stays at your feet and brings you over a ball and like drops it at your feet. It was like wagging its tail.
Not what I wanted.
I pet its head. It's okay.
Yeah.
And the camera kind of pulls back, and then as it shifts over to a different part of the city, and we find ourselves at the movie theater, we actually see Dakota walking up on the sidewalk, pushing the front doors open to the movie theater and walking in, joining both of you, perhaps. She's got a crumpled piece of paper dangling between her index and her middle finger. It's been 2 weeks. I know Dakota's distracted right now.
Sorry. I'm running
fine.
tech today, gang. I'm in two places. Say that last part again.
I say the camera picks up seeing Dakota walking down the sidewalk, walking into the movie theater with a piece of paper between her index and her middle finger as she joins
I
the
pop
other
a
two.
wheelie. Pah!
Oh yeah, on her skateboard. You actually can hear her outside. The two of you as a rolling skateboard against the concrete.
Well, Dakota's here.
I walk in with the folded piece of paper. I got it.
And in perfect fashion, you come in with a crumpled piece of paper. What is this supposed to be?
Nobody said presentation was important.
Presentation's always important. But
Yes.
that's besides the point.
I look
You got
myself up
it.
and down. Not presentable at all. I did, and I unfold it. He's staying at a place, this address, under the name Leslie. Or potentially with a Leslie.
All right.
Okay.
So, you wanna make a move on it tonight?
Maybe we could scope the place. I imagine if he's living with just a regular old kind, maybe bursting down the door is a bad idea.
So, do we want to what do we want to do here? Do we want to talk to him? Do we want to come up with some sort of?
So I had an idea. Technically,
Dakota?
he's not a Leslie. And technically, he's staying probably under a lease that says he is. We could send my police contact to arrest him. And instead of taking him into a cell at the precinct, he brings him to our cell here, and we get what we need from Darian, and then we can let him go. Hell, we don't even have to bring him here. We can take him anywhere we want.
It's not a bad idea, actually. If he's staying here,
Because
why not?
I'm afraid Ollie's probably right. I wonder if the whole place is like magically booby trapped or something.
If the guy's really paranoid, it could be, but I don't know. We could at least just take a look.
Okay. I'm not doing anything.
Sure,
All right.
let's do it then.
Well, let's go.
We go in the van. Stake out.
About that, the van's gone.
Okay, what happened to it?
Oh,
Last week, I got rid of the van and all the gold.
Oh, right. Are we
Yeah.
rich yet?
Kinda. We'll be rich-ish over the next 6 months.
Cool.
nice. Well, glad that's getting taken care of. That van was getting rather heavy.
So,
Yeah, I
uh,
think we took a bit of a big hit, but to be honest, we couldn't really afford having Giovanni Nazi gold sitting, in our backyard.
It's better than having all of that.
you're not going to hear me complain.
Exactly. Well, we can take my car if we don't want to
Oh, yeah.
take the van
Stake out.
and do a stakeout.
So the plan is to head out toward Riverside, which is again past Stickney. Now, unfortunately, as you ride out that way, you realize Riverside is actually past Irwin. You're not sure if it's entirely in technically werewolf or lupine territory, but it is definitely on the edges of it, if not part of it. It passed Stickney, and then it turns into more very similar to the east side. It's a lot more train tracks and train yards, but unlike on your east side where it's very packed, it's very sparse out here. A few buildings here and there, an empty train yard, and there's a small street that you end up rolling down in her car where most of the street lights work, but a couple of them flicker and end up going out. Buildings themselves are not packed together like they are in downtown Chicago. There's actually space between each one. And the apartment buildings look more akin to like multiple story houses than they do like the brick buildings that you see within deep Chicago. And as you kind of roll through and you look around, a lot of these houses are run down, not taken care of. Certainly people living in them, not abandoned by any stretch, but not a lot of money rolls through here. Broken windows, cars on the side of the street with tires missing, being held up by cinder blocks, and other windows that are completely boarded up entirely. And as you're rolling by, you see the house that he supposedly lives in, a 2-story, supposedly on the second floor. You were told an apartment, but again, it looks like a multiple family. And much like the rest of the houses, it looks boarded up, busted, but not abandoned. There certainly seems to be some sort of activity on the first floor, at least. As you gently roll by and turn left to circle the block again, the three of you kind of look to each other to affirm that that was the place.
You could go do the invisible thing, Ollie.
Yeah, I was thinking that's probably for the best.
Just to put eyes on the place. There might be more than one person there, so...
All right, well, just stop here. I'll walk out.
Ollie kind of ripples out of existence as the door opens and shuts. And you want to sit like across the street on a building nearby and just kind of watch for a while?
I'll probably watch for a few minutes, and if nothing really changes, I'll cross the street just to see if I get any senses, anything
Sure.
that kind of...
Well, first, we imagine you kind of mighty leap on top of the nearby building and just kind of sit watch for a while, looking to see through the cracks if you see anything. Can I please get a wits awareness from you?
Sure, I can try to do that. Mm-hmm. Wits. 2 successes.
With 2 successes as you watch the front windows. One of the boarded up, the windows being boarded up are not perfect. It's not like a professional walked over and like measured out the windows and then hammered in boards. It's like 3 or 4 haphazardly kind of slapped together with cracks through, and you can actually see on the other side the blinds that would kind of block the sun. And as you watch quietly, very patiently, one of them, you actually notice a bit of light change. As your eyes catch over and you look over, it does seem like between 2 of the boards that have about a 7 or 8 inch gap between them, some of the blinds are pushed down, and you see a figure seemingly kind of just like look out, and then the blinds kind of snap back up.
That's not terrible news. Let's get a little closer.
How close are you looking to get here?
I just want to be around the property at first.
Okay. Just walk around it, sort of, so to speak.
Yeah, what is there, like, is it fenced?
Yep. So as you get closer and you start walking through, there's like chain link fence that leads. It's maybe about, for Ollie, probably closer to like thigh high, but for anybody who's like 5'6", 5'7", it's more like waist high. It goes all the way into the back, and there is like a backyard. It's like mostly concrete, you would consider a patio, and a lot of dead grass with patches of green grass throughout. Yeah, garbage kind of tossed about haphazardly back there. Tin cans, beer bottles, smashed tequila bottles. Those little plastic nip bottles are kind of scattered everywhere. And as you look through, there's sliding doors into the first floor that are actually, the blinds are wide open, and you can actually see what looks like some carnal action happening on a couch somewhere in the living room in this first floor by the flickering light of a TV in the darkness.
That's graphic. Not what I was expecting.
That's the first floor. He's supposedly in the second.
Well, power to him. Exhibitionism wasn't really my thing.
You're like, there's a moment where Ollie's like, huh. All right. And then moves on. And
Yeah.
do you climb up the side of the building? Do you do that spider climb type deal?
Yeah, I'll hop the fence and see if any of those senses sort of like trigger or anything like that.
Nothing seems to pop. No wards seem to go off. You don't feel any sort of danger whatsoever, and there's no nothing kind of like seems to like immediately trigger your concern. Is there something specific you're looking for here?
Is there? Okay, so this is the second floor, and it's an apartment building.
It's basically, it looks like a two-story like family house, but yeah, it's like
Sure.
an apartment.
How many windows are there?
On the back end where you are, there are 3 up top.
Are they large or are they just the standard size?
Standard size, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing special about them.
Then I will move up to those windows. I'll just move up.
So
to
you
those
do
windows.
the spider climb thing. Do you need a
Mhm.
rouse check for that or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. So we don't see, but the camera follows this invisible figure as it sees the building and it begins to glide up the building. And the 3 windows up top, 2 of them are boarded and one of them has duct tape all along the outside. And as you maybe kind of peer through each one, when you get to the duct tape one and you peer through, you realize it's duct tape because the window is actually still in there, but it's completely shattered, broken glass everywhere, splintered wood. But as you kind of peel back just a very small part of the duct tape to get a look inside, and the light of the outside kind of fills in a little bit, you actually see pacing very rapidly in this room a man with a thick dark beard standing with what seems to be like a note, like a, what do you call it? An iPad. I was saying notepad, but like an iPad in his hand. And he's looking down, looking up, and he's pacing back and forth. To the audience and to everybody here, we all recognize a familiar figure, one we haven't seen in 2 years. He's ragged. His beard is a lot longer than it was. His hair is a complete mess. And his clothes are that of days-old sweatpants and a t-shirt. He looks like he's pale as hell, hasn't seen sunlight in forever. And dear old Darian here has certainly seen better days.
Does he seem to be talking to anyone, or is he just like flipping through this iPad?
He's just flipping through an iPad kind of rapidly, not saying anything to himself, not saying anything to anybody or to himself.
Okay. What can you give me like a time? Is there a time of night that this is at the moment?
Yeah, it's like close to 3 a.m.
Okay. All right. And can I see the car?
There's no car in the driveway. Do you mean your car?
Correct.
That depends. How far away would you all have stayed from the house? That's totally up to the three of
I
you.
think within the block, right? Like we
Yeah,
wouldn't have
probably
gone
turning
like
the first
yeah.
left.
So if you like
on the
climbed up a
street.
little further to the rooftop, you could see the car from up top.
Probably.
Looking at the walls, do there seem to be any markings?
And in this room that you see here, absolutely not. It's all peeled back wallpaper that's like yellowed and old, and it seems to be behind. Yeah, Darian would recognize what this is. Horsehair plaster is obviously showing behind the wallpaper to give you an indication as to how old this building might actually be.
Yeah. All right. And we had to pass through Berwyn.
Oh, you went around it.
We went around Berwyn.
Mhm.
All right.
You went through Stickney, which is just outside Berwyn.
We've only got a couple of hours left. We had to go around Berwyn. Ollie feels like this close. I think Ollie's just gonna go in.
Okay. What do we see Ollie do? The duct tape just kind of, you just see his fingers all of a sudden right through.
Yeah, I think so.
So without hesitation, he kind of looks up, sees the car, and Ollie just kind of sits on the side of the house for a minute, thinking, weighing his options. Like you said, Ollie feeling this close. This is progress, at least toward Rowan to some degree, to answers. And so after weighing the options, he kind of just nods his head. You don't see it, obviously. And then with a quick swipe, he wedges his fingers into the duct tape and just rips it downward. You do not need to make a strength brawl check. The duct tape has no chance against a kindred as it all rips. And as it all falls out and you have this giant hole there, Darian dropping the iPad spins and his eyes go wide and panicked. What do you want to do? It's technically initiative between the two of you. But that
how
made
far?
you
Like is
uninvisible.
what 10 feet?
Yeah, you
5?
could reach him. You could reach him easily. He's going to get an opposed roll. It just depends on how.
Sure. I seeing as to how he was friends with Ida, who taught Rowan a few things, I want to close that gap and get my hand over his mouth.
Okay. Dex Athletics.
Yeah.
As he's going to try and do the same thing in his defensive role. I actually do not have. Hang on. Let me open up Darian's sheet real quick. Where are you? Just around the corner? Oh my goodness. How far down are you? Oh my God. I'm just going to go to the next page. There it is. Just around the corner. Oh my God.
Aw.
Remember since this game started in September of, no, not September.
2017
or 2018.
It was 2018, I believe.
Mhm.
2018.
I like how everybody's character sheets are named their character except for Bubs. It's just called Bub.
Yep. It's like that everywhere.
All right. So let's see. Darian is I'm gonna have you roll, Darian.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
By the way, the first ever episode of Just Around the Corner was in June of 2018.
there it is.
Ah.
June of 2018.
Darian gets a 2 dice pool.
Nice.
He rolls 1 for each.
One success.
One success versus your 3. You get to him before he gets to. He clearly was about to, but you take one step in, and your hand just goes over his face, covering almost everything, and he just goes.
Stop it.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna knock him out? Are you gonna just drag him out?
I'm just gonna hold him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, stop it. I'm just here to talk. It's just talk. And does he keep like?
Oh yeah. Okay. Like, as soon as you say that, his foot comes up and he starts stomping on the ground.
It's about Matthew.
His eyes go wider, and then he starts stomping even harder.
Okay. All right. Well,
So,
it's night time. I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah. Give me a
It's
strength roll.
night time.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all.
Thought you could work with this here, but you gone full loony bin.
This is why we gotta sell.
Oh my gosh.
You rolled 3 10s. You rolled
Three
3 10s. That's like 8 6. It doesn't matter. So
Wow.
you just go. You're like, all right, and you just kind of take your elbow and just bam in the side of the head. He just goes, kind of collapses. You're able to catch him before he collides. But down the hall, you actually hear a female's voice. Darian, 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 say something right now. And you actually hear movement.
Okay, I'm gonna rouse, and
Okay, give me a rouse
since he's
check.
already knocked out.
You're just gonna go out the window.
No, I'm gonna go invisible again.
Okay.
I'm
you
gonna
go
drop
invisible.
Darian, go invisible, and be right next to the door on the side that opens.
Okay. We see the body kind of hit the ground. Do you make the body? Is the body visible to even if they look in the doorway? As you look out, it's a small hallway and you can hear down the hallway is where the noise is coming.
Yes, I think I will probably make it visible, just like right in the middle of the floor.
Okay. And so you leave it there and you wait, and you actually hear after those first few shouts, slow footsteps, not running, but slow, careful footsteps. First, you hear a door down the hallway get a little creak, followed by it swinging open in a couple, doosh, doosh, and then quiet again. And then slow footsteps to the next door where the same pattern continues. You hear fly open. And then just before they get to your door, you hear a voice, leave him and I won't do what I have to. Only warning.
Rouse Potence.
Okay. Okay. Do you say anything?
Nope.
Okay. As soon as there's a few tense moments of silence before you hear one footstep and one more before a young female swings in. Yeah, you put her somewhere in her 20s maybe. She's got a tight bun, and she's got just a t-shirt on and shorts. In her hand, she has a pistol, and underneath, she's holding it with a stake pointed off to the side. And as she quickly sweeps the room. What do you do when she does so?
Well, she's friends with Darian, so she might have answers.
It is not Saren for those who would recognize. It is not
I
Saren.
don't know what it is. I'm just gonna go for a temple blow and punch her.
You're going to be rolling against a 1 defense because she knows she doesn't know you're there.
Yep. I'm not trying to kill her, so I will pull my punch. If there's a negative to that, then okay.
But you have potence on, so you're gonna do 5 extra no matter what.
Yeah. So
That's
like
too
even if
late.
it means like I slap, right? Like it's palm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what you roll.
Just trying to rattle her cage more often than not.
Yeah, with 8 against a 1, so you're gonna do 7 total. So you kind of just step out and you ripple out and she swings around, catching you with the corner of her eye. And as soon as she swings around, you come back with the backhand and you just clock her in the jaw as she stumbles back, hits the wall, and falls down to her knees, just catching herself, barely conscious, dropping her weapons to the ground as she kind of just like dazed starts like reaching for wherever the gun or the stake fell.
And then it's gonna go right into the choke out that I do.
Mm-hmm. And you get behind her, and again, go ahead and roll. She's gonna get a roll, but she's gonna get a huge penalty. So she's only getting a die pool of 3. She rolled 3 successes at least.
She did.
Not bad. She's
5.
just being, even though with 5 getting behind her, even in her dazed state, she puts up a bit of a fight. You were everybody else has been pretty easy. But she, as soon as you come in contact, even if she can't see correctly, her arms move up almost instinctively and put that try to put the block between her neck and your arm. But you're too strong. You're too overpowered, and she doesn't have her weapons or her wits about her right now. And you kind of lift her up to her tippy toes and just hold it there until the kicking and the flailing stops. She goes limp, and you can lower her back to the ground.
Okay.
You check for a pulse. I'm assuming you didn't want to kill her.
Yeah, I'll check for pulse. Make sure.
You don't have to. I'm not gonna. I just wanted to make sure you weren't looking to kill. You put her down on the ground unconscious, and now Darian is next to you.
Okay. I'm gonna gag them both and tie them up.
Okay.
And
you're only gonna have opportunity to take one of them out of here.
Oh yeah.
Well, Darian is kind of he's a much bigger person than this girl is, and there was a lot of noise.
Okay, then I've
put it this way. Ollie would know the risk of cops is now in play.
Sure. I'm gonna. Oh man, I'm guessing that there's some sort of a pen or mark or something.
You can look around. You could find some way to you could find something to write with. Yeah.
I'm just gonna write down Darian will be back.
Okay. You just write on a piece of paper and just kind of tuck it under her unconscious body. I see you hoist Darian up over both shoulders.
She's gonna wake up and realize that she's not dead. So the intention was not to kill.
Yep. I totally get the message you're trying to send here as you take Darian back. Ava and Dakota have been sitting in this car for 15, 20 minutes.
I'm getting really nervous, Ava.
While I'm there, I'm gonna break that fucking gun.
Oh yeah, so you just take the gun and you just hear the metal bend as you twist and bend it and just toss the gun on the ground.
Nice.
Maybe even popping the clip as well to empty all the bullets out and bend the clip to make sure it can't be used. And then as Dakota, the camera goes and flies out the window, blurring down the street and past the corner. Into the car it goes. We see Dakota and Ava looking at each other. It's kind of taking a while. I thought he was supposed to just scope it out. And as those worries come out, the door opens. And as the weight of a new man plus Ollie step in, the car kind of lists heavily. The door shuts. And that's your signal to go. You begin to drive. Does Ollie come into vision once you begin to move, or do you stay invisible?
I'll come into vision.
Okay. With obviously Darian there as well.
Yeah.
So I guess we decided to take him.
He's got cloth jammed into his mouth.
Mm-hmm. It's a sturdy sock, basically, that you found nearby.
I don't know that.
Take him.
We can go in the back of the Haven.
And I can always hit the sewer and come up there somehow.
It's true.
Okay, to the Haven then.
Pull 2 blocks up from the Haven.
We'll say there's probably like a sewer access point every few blocks, right?
Yeah. You can find a sewer access
Ollie
pretty
can
easily.
grab him, take him, come up the back of the theater, and go straight in, and we can drop him in a cell till we're done with him.
Okay.
He'll never know he's at the theater.
Okay. We'll do that then.
Simple enough plan. Pull off to the side nearby as Ollie scoots out. Make sure you see the manhole cover open and close. And as the camera kind of tilts to the sky, we blur east over toward Bridgeport, Brighton Park, and then back into the movie theater. A few moments later, Ollie and Darian kind of walk in, and the coterie kind of comes together with a new prisoner in their midst. He lies there, and same description as I gave before: haggard, dirty, pale, unkept.
He's a little underwhelming.
Yeah, this is him. You sure?
If you get a nearby book and compare pictures.
I was about to say, I compare the book
It's
jacket that
definitely
we've
him.
Yep.
Yep.
So what, are we just gonna wait till he wakes up?
Yeah, probably. I hit him pretty hard. I hit his friend pretty hard too.
His friend?
Yeah, real scrawny lady.
Was
she
it
had a stake
Leslie?
and a gun. I don't know, maybe.
Might have been Leslie.
But
Interesting.
she gonna wake up and realize that she's not supposed to be dead.
So she was carrying a stake, so she knew.
Yeah. And I had to move real quick. I didn't want Rowan used the biblical verses to scare my ass off. And if friends with Ida or whatever her name was, this is what they're capable of, I didn't need it. So I covered his mouth, and before I could even really get anything out, he was already stomping on the floor.
Hey, it's okay. As long as you got out clean and we've got him.
I did leave a note. It wasn't much. It just said Darian will be back alive.
Dakota kind of smiles at that, like she loves Ollieisms, which is such an Ollie thing to do. Okay.
Well, we better get ready for what we were going to ask him.
Well, we should probably find some tape because he's probably going to wake up immediately and start spouting religious shit, and he's just going to spit the sock out.
I'm sure there is a roll of duct tape somewhere around here.
Yeah, you easily could find out. If you guys been redoing things, and Dakota thought hanging up a poster at one point with duct tape was fine. And Ava came in and was like, that's
Not
god awful.
happening.
Yeah. And so that duct tape, that roll of duct tape has been.
It's actually in the trash right now. You go back.
Ava's like, I know where the duct tape is. Yeah, she reaches into the garbage, pulls a full roll of duct tape out of the garbage.
Well,
Here.
we'll talk about that later.
I
All
think
right.
for right now, I would like to take a break.
Yeah, we could go ahead and
For
take the
Because I want to fill in. I want Ollie to play Darian, so I want to
Spider-Man
fill in the information that Ollie needs, that Bub needs to know.
Oh, interesting.
You
Oh,
said
this
Spider-Man
is
meme.
okay. This
They're
is
gonna
fun.
talk to each other.
This
Well,
is gonna
we'll-
get weird.
Ollie's gonna have to minimally talk, and hopefully Ava does a lot of the interrogation aspect and talking. But I'd love to see Darian after I tell you what he's been through for the past 10 years. So we're gonna take a break. It's good. I'm gonna keep it as quick as I can, but I'm gonna give a briefing. And obviously, as we role play, if questions come up, I can feed the information as needed.
Okay.
So take a
Cool.
break, everybody. We'll be back in a few minutes. It's the grand return of Darian when we come back. Get into the mindset of a traumatized, PTSD, scared out of his wits Darian, even though that's kind of what he was before. It's worse now.
Oh, Ava and I are gonna have to be good cop, bad cop. I know where this is going.
So we'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta piss, and then I'm gonna fill you in.
All right, cool. Anything,
right.
anything,
Guys.
Bentham?
No,
break?
we're good. You nailed it.
All
Let's
right,
go.
gang, here we go.
Be
The break.
back.
We're live.
Hello.
Welcome back from the break. It's been productive, as you can see.
Very productive.
I
I swear this is not what we've been doing the whole time. We've been poor Dot has been
having problems.
has been solving tech issues, and we've just been going through the horrible Zoom filters that are apparently a thing.
I'm ready to DM.
I have the crown now, bitches.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tell us in chat how the music balances, because I think Dot's gonna carry on trying to fiddle with it and try and make it work.
Yep, I'm gonna make it work. Sorry, gang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't turn off the filter. Hang on.
Wait, I
Oh,
got.
that didn't work.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We're fine.
Shit,
Everything's
how do you turn
fine.
this off?
I was
How
gonna
do
say I should turn mine off probably. Sorry, everybody.
How do you turn this off?
Done. You have to go back into your video settings.
Scroll all the way to the top.
And go. Yeah.
And hit none.
Hit none.
Oh.
I'm actually gonna keep this.
Though that cheesy mask, Mathis.
I know, right? It's so good. It's my DM costume.
Yeah, the cheekiest costume around.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You arrive, the camera will fade in on the movie theater in the back room where an unconscious Darian sits with the stock stuffed into his mouth and his arms and legs tied. Ollie, Ava, and Dakota all stand surrounding him, knowing they need to ask him questions. And slowly, as the time passes, he begins to rouse. Who says what first?
Hey, he lives.
His eyes are darting around wildly and in a panic between the three of you.
Hey. You're still alive now, right?
Leaning back like heavily in the seat as much as he can.
Ava's gonna get a chair and sit down in front of him, like giving a little bit of space between.
Have we tied him to a chair? Or is he still in the cell?
Up to you.
I wouldn't mind tying him in a chair in the cell.
Okay, okay. Then while he was out, we probably would have tied him
Just
to a
have
chair.
him sit on a chair.
So
and
he
he's
rouses
tied
in a
up.
chair in his cell,
Okay.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So then I'll open the door.
And go, I'm gonna come take off your, gag. Do you bite?
Okay.
I think looking up at Ollie is probably incredibly intimidating.
You're just
in every
standing there.
capacity. Yeah, just
Ollie needs to slip away.
We only have a few questions, okay? You answer them, and we'll take you back to your hidey hole. Which you obviously might want to work on. Okay.
Rather simple.
I come over with a fingernail and I kind of slice through the gag and I pull it from his mouth.
Now, my friend Ava here, she has some really nice questions for you. My questions are not usually as nice. So you might want to answer hers first, okay? Ava.
Hi. Very nice to meet you, Darian. I'm a big fan. Big fan of your comics.
You write young adult novels, first of all,
Or your-
Darian. You don't
or
write
your
comics.
books.
No, Ava definitely said comics.
God damn it.
It just fits.
he doesn't say anything right away. Just kind of like you see that his lips are like very, very tightly pursed. You might notice that there is like a drop of blood, like right at the front of his lips, where it looks like he's kind of like biting into his lip.
Oh, are you okay? Don't do that. And she'll like reach a finger to like.
Like he pulls back,
Right.
whipping his head away.
It's okay. Don't. I know you're a little skittish, but I'm not gonna hurt you.
I will
I'm gonna help you.
hurt you.
You're just gonna kill me.
Oh no, trust me. That would be messy and a bad idea.
Yeah. We have no interest in killing you. In fact, I really don't have the energy to clean up your big ass body when it's done. So, answer her questions.
What kind of guarantee do I have that you're just not gonna kill me as soon as you know what you need to know?
You don't.
Then why should I say anything?
Well, I would think it's because you at least prefer a 50-50 chance.
Doesn't really seem like earnest math. I mean, I guess I'm still alive, but you're just gonna kill him. Just kill him. Just get it over with.
You're right. Actually, if we wanted to kill you, we would have gotten it over with.
How about this? I heard you live with a pretty little lady. They're not usually the type I go to. But I'll tell you this.
No.
If you
Is
don't
Leslie
answer...
dead?
No, she's alive thanks to the big guy upstairs. But I'm not as kind as he is. So if you don't answer her questions, I'll leave your ass alive and go kill her.
Oh God.
I feel like the odds have shifted. Let's try again. Ava?
Do you know? Look, let's cut to the chase here. We know that you, Darian, are a famous writer. You write about a certain vampire slayer named Layla. Great character that you wrote there. It seems that maybe you got some inspiration, perhaps, from some real world folks that you know.
Why? Why does it matter about Layla? Why does it matter about a book I wrote? It doesn't matter that I'm a writer. Why?
We want to know about Layla, not what we've read in your books. We want to know about her.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Why do you think I was in hiding?
You're hiding from Layla?
No, I'm hiding from you and
Well, you're doing a piss poor job
big
of
guy.
it.
I've been fine for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Well, you could only be fine for so long. We're here now.
I thought putting myself on the other side of the wolves that this wouldn't be a problem.
The other side of the what?
The wolves.
The wolves.
Brighton Park. Lupine.
Yes.
Irwin. But, yeah.
I'm sorry, Berwin.
You're in Brighton Park.
Lots of different parks in my life at the moment.
How do they not? It doesn't matter. Why? What do you want to know about Layla? Why? What? I've said everything in the book anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't have anything else to tell.
Where is she now?
I don't fucking know where she is.
Where did you last see her?
I haven't seen her in 15, 16 years, almost 20 years.
20 years. And you weren't here then, were you? How long have you been in Chicago?
I grew up in Chicago.
But you lived in Madison.
Yeah, I moved to Madison.
How long ago did you live in Madison and then move here?
Doesn't have anything to do with Layla. What do you want to know about Madison?
Everything.
A little shithole and nobody goes to.
Well, looky there. We agree on something.
And everybody that goes there winds up sad and depressed or dead.
What happened to you there, Darian?
Or something else?
I don't really know what happened to me there. I don't have all the details. Everything's a little foggy. And I mean, since I had a severe lack of oxygen to my fucking brain within the last hour, everything's a little foggy. Can I have a glass of water? I'm starting to freak out.
Hear Grant upstairs, like out in the hallway, not realizing he had been listening the whole time. I'll get the water. Walking off.
Grant, will you bring 2 glasses and a washcloth?
And a shotgun. Got it.
Okay.
Hear him walking up the stairs.
Oh my God. Everything's getting so bad.
Things are getting...
You hear it shouted through the wall. How many shotgun shells?
Just fucking fill it up!
You got it.
The water, not the shotgun. Leave the shotgun.
Listen, Darian. Layla took an interest in a boy. Do you know that?
I mean, I don't. I wasn't really a boy.
Your friend.
No.
You had an old lady friend.
What was her name? Ida. Ida.
Ida? Ida's dead. She died.
Yeah.
What happened to the boy she was raising?
That's why I said Matthew. It went to Matthew, and Matthew dumped him on me. He dumped him on me. I didn't really have a choice. Matthew was...
Do you know who killed your dear Ida?
Age, and being real fucking hard on her own body.
Keep going.
I don't.
Darian knows.
I don't know anything else. Ida was old. Ida was old when I met her. She was lower 70s, upper 70s, and
Well,
15 years later, she's dirt.
then-
She's old as dirt.
she's dirt, all right. Let's just give you a new narrative for your story, Darian. Your dear hero, Layla, put lead between her skull.
Why that doesn't make sense. She hunts monsters. She doesn't hunt good people. What would she have to gain from that? Nothing. And it doesn't make sense because Matthew gave me the boy.
You know who that boy's is? Or did you just take him in and not ask questions?
What am I gonna do? I can't bend time and shoot fucking fairy dust out of my fingertips. And I can't drink blood and live forever.
Hey, Ava.
I have a cheerleader with a gun protecting me.
How about that water, Grant?
Great. And you actually see he strolls around the corner. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt conversation. Water, and he hands you some water, and then in his other hand, he just like pumps the shotgun.
Great.
Insurance.
Okay, great. Did you get the washcloth?
Washcloth.
I asked.
I have to do everything myself. I go over to a sink and get a dirty rag in the basement
Yep,
of this
that's
old
fine.
theater. And I walk over to poor Darian and I put the washcloth over his face and I dump the water on top.
And I'm like, so while you're sitting there suffocating, listen to what I have to say, okay? That boy that you took in didn't belong to you. Technically didn't belong to Ida, but she took him in for our dear friend upstairs who kidnapped you. You see, that boy is the boy of a kindred. In fact, we believe he's a revenant.
And then I pull the washcloth off.
You still listening, Darian?
Revenant means nothing to you, Darian.
Darian probably like coughs just waterboarding? Really?
This is like the least extreme waterboarding that has ever been waterboarded ever. I used a glass of water and a
I
washcloth.
love Darian as a character because this is who he is.
Yeah.
he's a dramatic by nature.
Yeah.
Yes. He's great.
Okay. So, I got one more glass of water. Would you like that one too?
I like
Or
to
would you-
drink it.
Great. Then I'm going to leave it right there. The boy.
Can I-
When
can
did
I
he leave
just-
your custody?
You looks over to Ava. You came and you took me from my little hellhole. And now you're going to try to torture me, maybe kill me. You ever think, now he looks up at Dakota, that to lure flies out works better with honey than vinegar?
I walk over
Give
to
me
his
drink of fucking water!
I walk over to his glass of water and I drink the whole thing. I rouse and drink
Well, yeah, I
it.
was gonna say you gotta rouse. What's your humanity at?
A 5.
She's good. Yeah.
So yeah, you can hold down food.
Yeah,
still, then?
I can if I want to. Dakota
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
often, but this
go
is
ahead.
this is it. I'm gonna rouse and
You
there it
gain a
is.
little hunger, and you
Worth
just
it.
watch as Dakota walks over and chugs the water.
Wow, I was so thirsty. Now I'm really hungry.
It's a shame.
Add a
I don't really
3.
eat much these days.
Oh, I do. I'm ravenous.
Not really worth much.
So I go and stand outside. I'm like, since you need a little honey, I'll let Ava put it on thick.
Dakota steps out of the door, leaving Ava dressed in her slinky, form-fitting black dress, looking gorgeous as always. And she quietly and strides forward with a single step. Ava, take it away.
So which one are you? Are you the good cop or are you the bad cop?
No, I'm always the good cop. See, I won't hurt you.
Then can I have a sip of water, please?
You shout out to
There's-
Grant.
I
just,
drain
yeah.
the washcloth into the empty glass and hand it back to
Oh.
Ava.
That's so mean. I take it. I return it to Darian. Well, this will have to do for now. I'll make sure my best people get you some more. Maybe a little meal as well.
I'm guessing that your best people aren't really alive. Because I've been told that you don't really travel in much in the way of packs greater than like 5. And even then there's a lot of mutiny and untrust that's seeded and goes on for a while.
Is that what
Listen,
you write in your books?
Give me a
Big
cup.
brains on Darian.
Get me a cup of water that's not either been poisoned or peed in, if you can even pee anymore, or whatever
You
that
hear
guy is up
Grant in the
there.
background. God, you hear zip up. Damn it.
And if you're gonna kill me, you're gonna kill me anyway. So I don't have anything to lose just by telling you things. Just give me this one thing, a nice cold glass of water.
Of course, whatever you say. I'll get up. I'll do like a quick 180, and I'll go, Grant, can we just get a normal glass of water for the gentleman, please?
He just nods and quietly goes up the stairs, and within a minute, he's back down the stairs with a glass of water.
And maybe just a snack for later. Maybe one of Ollie's great sandwiches or
Yeah,
something.
a snack.
I take the water.
Yeah,
and I
you
just
walk
go
back in with a glass, an actual glass of water. Finally, is handed to Darian.
We even got some ice, nice and cold for
There's
you.
like a cube in there.
Can I have my arms? I can't fight. I'm not strong.
Oh, I was gonna feed it to you. Is that not what you wanted?
I don't
I don't care what you want, Darian.
Did you say you were walking away?
Nope. I said I would stand outside the cage. Ava, I like this idea. Feed him his water.
Ava's gonna gently raise the cup. Now open up.
He'll take a little bit of it.
There you go.
You realize that my first line of defense is my words. If I wanted to scare you off, I could just chant all of the verses that she taught me. Because I actually believe in it. It's in my heart. Ida drilled that into me. Physically, I'm probably her equal, though. I can't fight either of you under any capacity.
See, I can hurt you with words too. If you don't know that there's
Well,
some
get in
things
the line.
that we
Everybody
can
else
do.
has my entire life. What are you going to do any different?
It's a little something like chanting your verses, except the opposite effect. You'll start saying everything I want you to say.
Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. If you let me walk out of here, then, well, I guess it really doesn't matter. But I don't think I'm going to make it out of the cell.
Please, don't be so dramatic, Darian.
That exactly.
You
Rather
don't-
than
You have no idea about the kind of pressure that I've been under and the shit that I've been fed since I first met your kind.
Well,
tell us about it then.
we're
Tell
all
us your
ears.
autobiography. Seems like something you'd like to do. Tell us what they've done to you, how they've tortured you, how they've kept you in that little room, not being able to leave, being stuck.
I have a keeper. I have a keeper. That cheerleader with a gun. She's a hunter. I've been told that I'm too deep. I'm not allowed to go anywhere. I'm not allowed to have friends. I can't write. I can't do anything anymore. I stay in that little shitty hole, and I have an iPad that I get to scroll through the current events and I guess theorize about conspiracy, because that's the hot topics of today. And well,
Wouldn't it be nice to be freed from that?
that seems and sounds like a bait if I've ever heard one. If I had free will and agency, I would happily walk away of my own accord, but that's never really the case, is it?
Well, it seems that you're not exactly on the best terms with them, and neither are we.
You haven't told us, though, who you're running from.
I know. I know that you're everywhere. I know that you would eventually find me. I knew that you have got everybody in the government in your back pockets, that you have eyes on everyone and everything, and I knew that I would be found. That's why Leslie was left with me.
Okay, I'm still not understanding entirely why Kindred wants you and who exactly does.
I don't have names, probably because the guy that tried to eat me that night was killed, and his friends are probably looking for the person that did that.
What guy tried to eat you?
Eat you.
The other fucking vampire. The other one that...
Yes, 'cause we're all the same.
You're right. You are all the same. You all walk at night. You all eat humans. I didn't say that. I said that you all do the same thing, which is
Okay.
attack people.
Your life, Darian's life shifted to the worse after Rowan came into his life. That's when things
So
got bad.
you took in the boy.
Yeah, yes, I took in Rowan, and I didn't want him. But I didn't have a choice. Matthew dropped him off on me, and I tried to get a hold of Layla. I don't know, 30 days, 60 days, it blurred. I held up as long as I could, and I waited until she was supposed to come out. I contacted every other day. I sent a message, but I never know if it got there. Eventually, it did. Who knows how long it took to cycle up the ladder before it finally found Layla. But it finally found her, and she didn't come out. She sent someone out. Not only did she send someone out, she sent Leslie out. Leslie's been watching me since.
Sounds
But they
to
came
me
and
like
they
you're
came and they
kind-
took him.
Who's they? Layla's goons?
Cronies, goons, I don't know. They all operated under the same thing, and I'm guessing that they were all hunters.
Where did you meet Leslie and these people? Where were you?
They met you in Madison before they took you to Chicago.
We were on the outskirts of Madison. We were already on our way out. Matthew, the rest of us didn't want to be there in Madison. We didn't even know where Ida was going at the time. We had no idea. Saren was cycling the drain. She was trying to go back into being famous, and I don't even. The rest doesn't matter. It doesn't
The
matter.
name Saren, only to Ava, rings familiar. A pop star that kind of rose and fell greatly. Not quite a one-hit wonder, but a one-album wonder.
Saren?
She disappeared. The fact you didn't know she went to Madison or interacted with Darian. Yeah, she's a weird piece of pop history.
Irrelevant.
How old was he when they took him?
He was no more than 9 or 10.
He couldn't have. He was a tween. Couldn't have been more than 12 years old at best. He was getting big. He was old enough that he could have. I don't have kids. I don't have any family that has kids. I've never been around kids. I'm guessing he was between 9 and 12. He seemed smart. He kept talking about his dad. But he was scared. He was really scared. And, well, Ida was clearly getting to him. Because, I mean, it doesn't take much. As deep as she had a way with words. She was quick-witted. She was a sparky bat.
Great. Well, she's a dead bat now.
Yeah. Ida got to him, but Layla got to him harder.
What is the point of the boy? Yeah, I haven't seen him in, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years.
Because he's
It's been too
wandering
long.
the streets of Chicago and making our life shit.
Well, that's not my fucking problem.
It is for now.
Why? What does
Because-
Darian Tuck have to do with the boy?
'Cause we need to find Layla.
Correct.
Oh, well, good fucking luck. I can't find Layla, and she saved my ass. I know
You
she's
s-
out in New York.
you
You want to go
said-
out to New York?
She's in New York.
Yeah, that's where she's stationed.
How often does she come out here? She's got to come out here regularly if a bunch of her people are here.
She is from Chicago.
I don't think you get it. Your kind aren't just here. They're everywhere. They're in every city. You probably know that much. But
Oh, yeah,
Layla's high
I'm
enough
aware.
up, and she kind of calls shots. She's gonna go where there's the most action. And, well, from everything that I heard and everything that I've been reading, New York's been a fucking mess the last decade.
It's
All
true.
heard similar things.
So
So I don't know.
she's where the action is. I get it. But you said you reached out here and there until word got to her.
Yeah, it took like a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, but yeah, she finally sent someone out.
Leslie.
No, Leslie stayed. It was someone else. I don't know who it was, but they took him. They didn't even tell me a name. Leslie was the one that talked. She said that she was here, that they'd be taking Rowan, and I was to stay out here past this part of the park because there was a wall. And I didn't find out later that wall was wolves until later, much later. And that was just slipped. That was just slipped information. It was something that I picked up.
Did the lupine know you're using them as a wall?
No, I don't. I think everybody on the other side that is aware of the lupine, the wolves, they probably recognize that there's some kind of a wall. But then again, the only thing that's on the other side is Madison.
Am I getting the vibe, Mathis, that the that it is just a strategic thing on her part, or that she's made contact with Lupine to set something like this
strategic.
up?
It seems strategic.
Strategic and less like planned.
Right. No.
or
Yeah.
like a
Definitely more just
collaboration.
Like
okay.
Yeah. It's much more. It definitely seems like a strategic place because Darian doesn't. From everything Darian's coming across, while he certainly has value to Layla, he's not coming across as essential to Layla's plan.
Yeah. I definitely. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Well, Darian, you've been rather helpful. I'd like you to do me a favor. I'm gonna invite the big guy downstairs to stand here. I want you.
He's gonna hit me again.
He's not gonna hit you because I'm gonna hit you. Listen. I want you to tell him about Rowan asking about his father. That's it.
Why?
Because he cares. And he deserves to hear that at one point his boy did too.
Rowan's his son?
I'm sorry. Did I not make that clear?
You made clear that Rowan was a son of a kindred. You
Yes.
didn't
Of the
make
one
clear
upstairs.
until
I said
now.
the one upstairs.
Did you say that
Yes.
at the time?
Yeah.
I didn't even pick
I said
up
the
on
big
that,
guy
honestly.
upstairs is his dad. Yeah, it might have been
Yeah, I
Dakota's
didn't
words,
pick
but
up
yeah.
on
But Darian was panicking, so it probably clicks now.
That probably makes sense. Yeah, just the panic.
Yes!
All right,
Ollie.
fine, fuck. Send him down, fuck.
Was there anything you wanted to talk to Darian about when it came to the Fae, though? I feel like there was
I'm going to leave to go get Ollie and
Okay.
and leave Ava for a minute to see if he'll open up to Ava.
Okay, gotcha. So Dakota disappears. You're gonna take your time getting Ollie, essentially. Ava is left alone.
So, we also met your friend Matthew. He seems interesting, not normal.
Yeah,
He's
no, none of us are fucking normal.
What happened to you?
Would you believe me if I said fairies?
Yes, actually.
Because that's all I really got is fairies. Everything
We've
just started going to
seen-
shit like almost 20 years ago. Everything went bad. I moved to Madison to get away, to leap some writer's block, and everything went to shit. I met Ida. I met Saren. I met a teacher, and I don't know how it all happened. It just happened fast. And the song kept playing over and over and over again in our heads. The sonata. And it still haunts my fucking dreams.
Music? You heard music.
Can I get for you specifically, Ava? Only you get this roll. I'm gonna say Dakota, by the way. You can hear all this. You got Ollie, you came downstairs, but you're just listening in, so you have it. A memory roll, please. Which is it is, I think it's intelligent. Oh shit, I can never remember what is a memory roll. Hang on, I'll find out.
I think it's resolve, or composure. It's one of the two.
It's something like that. Roll to remember something. Here it is. Let's see.
Maybe resolve and
I'm gonna add it to our
Intelligence,
documentation.
composure.
Intelligence, composure. Okay, I have a cheat sheet I was gonna add to this.
Intelligence, composure. Okay.
With Moonlight Sonata, he brings it up. That does tickle a memory. Yeah, you're pretty sure that's what Nero was playing on the piano at the Toreador party. Didn't really stick out at the time. He was just playing piano, and you were completely consumed by the Toreador and Annabelle being there, and Brett obviously came over.
Oh, shit. You heard that in your head.
hear it all the time. I was there. I went there. But I don't remember everything.
You went to the hedge.
Only memory
Yes.
for Darian that is not correct is the last session's memory. How everything else you remember the Briar Wolf, you remember the hedge, you remember going between the gateway in between. But it's that last memory. You think you're real. You don't think you're fake. You know, you thought you killed the Fae, and that's when Saren afterwards started going crazy. The carvings on her arm and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yes. We went into the hedge and there was. It was like the real world, but it wasn't the real world. There weren't buildings and people and cars and concrete jungles. It was just forest. It was cold and guttural and real, and there were wolves. They took that girl. I can't remember. Lilia? Matthew was so mad at us. I was certain that he wanted to kill us. He was so mad. You gotta understand, I don't really have anything bad against you. I'm not mad at you. I know what it means to eat. But I don't understand why I got so wrapped up in this. I didn't do anything different. I don't play the lottery. I don't play a hard game. I didn't want any of this. I don't want any harm to come to anybody.
I don't know why you're involved in this either, to be honest. I don't know why you or Ida or whoever else you talked about were involved. I've seen the place that you were in. It's dying now. It's being corrupted by something greater than what's there.
This is a very specific, bizarre detail that I'm going to say Darian remembers because it was important at the time. This was episode 2 of Just Around the Corner, maybe 3. It was the moment you saw Lily on the piano in the opening of the forest. It was a very small detail I put there that was further expounded upon, but something Darian would remember. There were a whole lot of leaves on the ground. The trees weren't empty by any stretch, but everything, like you said, it had that chill to it. But the way from your little adventure as Darian from Just Around the Corner, that's something that makes sense to Darian. It seemed like it was dying a decade ago. And those little details of the dying leaves were the first indication for our mortal party back then that something wasn't quite right.
The creatures look sick. The wolves, I've seen them. They are sick.
Everything kind of looked sick. Well, kind of.
Matthew is sick. He may be dead already. He's
Then
not well.
I'm probably not long to be alive then either.
Have you felt anything different?
I mean, aside from the big guy hitting me and being brought here, no, not really. No, I don't think so. I fucking regret going to that hellish cabin. I hate it with everything in my person.
The cabin.
I wish I could take all of that back. I would even go back to Madison.
The cabin. You know how to get there.
I mean, kind of, not really. No, the cabin, you want to find the cabin, but the cabin, you don't find it unless the cabin wants to find you.
And Darian hasn't gone looking for that cabin because every time Darian ever went looking, he always found it. It always showed up. But after you left the hedge, Darian never went looking for it again. Never tried.
Sometimes I would go there when I was confused, when I couldn't reach out to anybody else, when Saren was losing her mind, carving things into her skin. I would go there and I would scream out. I would scream out, calling Matthew or fairies, or I would anything at all. And sometimes I would be met with Matthew. Sometimes I would be met with a beautiful woman that is far more of a nightmare than she is beautiful. And I think that's what she wants to look like. But I think there's so much more there.
The Fae.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Thank you, Darian, for sharing.
Is he fine? Is the boy, is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's better than fine, I guess, or at least he thinks he is.
I'm not a parental figure. I don't have any skills to raise. I had a petunia that died. I couldn't raise a kid. And, well, Layla took care of me in a moment, and that's the only person I knew who to reach out to. So if she did something, I'm sorry, but he's still alive probably because of her. Because if it was me, he probably would have fucking died on a Tootsie Roll or something.
Well, she's done a good job, I guess. He's definitely learned her ways more than anything. And that's the problem. But it is what it is, I guess. Thanks anyway for your help.
I've been getting that a lot. Thanks anyway.
You're not going to die here. And Ava will turn around and walk out to find Dakota and Ollie.
I imagine we're standing just around the corner
You're
listening.
muted, by the way.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry, I wasn't muted for chat, just muted for you. Yeah, I imagine that we're standing literally around the corner to like the stairwell. We've been listening to this conversation.
Did you hear all that about his connection to the Fae and whatever? He's got a lot. He's more connected than us, that's for sure.
Hey, Darian, do that thing I asked you to do.
What's your name, guy? What's your name? Ollie. Ollie. He talked about you. He was worried about you. And I couldn't take care of him. So I called for the only person that I knew that could, that gave me a shot. And I'm sorry if I messed it up, but she said that he was okay. Ollie probably just shakes his head and just walks back upstairs.
Well done.
So is this where I die?
Are you ready to die?
Kind of have been the last, 15 or 20 years.
Then no. It's a lot more torture just to leave you living. At least from what I heard.
Why? Why are you so much different than what I was told? Than what attacked me those years ago?
What do you mean?
I'm supposed to be a piece of food. I thought that you were just gonna drain me dry and then huck my body into a ditch.
Newsflash, Darian. Not every kindred is like every other kindred. And the world's not so black and white. I thought you would have figured that out by now.
Hero of the story isn't exactly what you've written in your books.
Well, what are you gonna do when you find Layla anyway? What do you think you can do?
Don't know yet.
She has some other important people.
You should.
Listen,
She's like me. Okay, she's alive, but she can move mountains. She's not like every other hunter. I met them once. The SI, the government guys. They got their shit together. They got lots of doodads and gadgets, but
yeah, she's a little guerrilla warfare, I've heard.
she's an actual monster. Like,
Listen,
I thought that she could protect me from everything, but she's not been around.
Then what? Why continue everything that you have with her? Why
I don't
not
have a choice now. I don't have friends. I don't have allies. I don't have money. I don't have anything but history. And that history, there's no dividends, there's no royalties. The only thing I have is a cheerleader with a gun that's guarding me that will likely kill me if I walk away.
okay. The fact she's a cheerleader is an interesting touch. That being said,
I don't know if she's a cheerleader. I just see that she
listen,
does
Darian.
calisthenics and yoga.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? Currently, she has no fucking clue where you are. I could untie you and let you walk out the back. You need money? For the first time in my life, I got money. I guess what I'm saying is,
I can't go back.
then don't.
Because if I go back, they'll know that I said something. They'll know that I
Probably.
said something. I look, I might be ready for death, but I don't want to die of something that's not my own choice, and I can't fucking go back there.
I guess what
You
I'm
could
saying.
make Rowan disappear once.
Can you get me out of Chicago?
About to Madison.
Last time I checked, your house was still standing.
Anywhere but here. Fuck, you can go drop me in Gary. Okay, you can take me to Indianapolis. I'll go up to Detroit, just anywhere that's not Chicago. Even if it's Madison, because then I can probably hop a rail car or a cab and get the fuck out of Dodge.
You
I'll
have a
take
car?
another pen name.
You could take them to any city you want. You know, the journey would probably be about a day, but you have sun bags.
Yeah,
If you
well,
wanted to,
yeah.
you could
yeah.
take them out. Getting out and coming back is not going to be that difficult.
Okay. Say we move you. We'll get you out.
Okay.
What do we get out of all that effort, Darian?
Peace of mind. I don't know. I don't know what you want.
Darian, I'm a
It's not like you-
30-year-old stuck in an 18-year-old's body. I'll never have peace of mind.
Well, some people would pay a lot of fucking money for that, okay?
Some might, if they looked like her.
I don't know.
Darian, to the point. I'll tell you, your friend, this SI woman. Do you have any other friends that show up regularly?
No.
Occasionally, she'll meet up. Not friends, but occasionally another hunter will come by to have words with Leslie. You're usually not allowed to be privy to those conversations, but Marion probably listening on a couple. They seem to be just kind of typical updates on movement and positions.
It's information. It's a news update more than anything else. They don't come by that often. They're not regularly scheduled. It's just whenever things happen. But it seems like, I don't know, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month at absolute best. And well, if I'm not there, then she's got no reason to be there. So if you intend to follow her, you should probably put some eyes on her yesterday.
Well, we did leave a note saying we'd bring you back. I'd hate to be liars, Ava.
I smile, a very cheeky grin.
We were kind of planning a trip to Madison anyways.
One of two things. If I don't go back, that's fine. I can walk out, but that means that Layla's going to come here. I don't think that she's going to discontinue me because I think I'm a tool for her. Because she knows that I've touched that other part of the world. The part of the world that she can't touch.
Then you're a lot more used to me
I
by
was
giving
about to
you
say.
back. Because when they beat the truth out of you, then she'll come to my doorstep.
So are you trying to keep me around?
We keep you here until Layla shows up.
Then do I have any grounds for negotiation?
Perhaps we should let
Look,
you.
it's real simple. You just don't beat the shit out of me. Don't eat me. And whatever else you want me to do, just try to keep me alive.
Okay, calm down. First off, nobody's gonna beat you. Has anybody beat you yet? Second off, if I wanted to eat you, I would already have done it. You're not my type. You're a little too nice. Ava, last time I checked, we have a pretty secure septic tank. Darian's already used to being in, say, isolation.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fitting place for you. It fits your whole look here.
Depressive state.
I mean,
We'll even give you your iPad.
Can I stay here? I'll stay in the cell.
Maybe
In-
Grant can feed you sandwiches.
Oy vey.
I don't really need much. I pretty much subsist on
Look,
on gas station
we-
like dairy cakes.
Man, I love a good gas station dog. Listen, all I'm saying is you can't be yelling and making a bunch of fucking noise.
No. I that's the thing. I'm really, really good at being quiet. It's just when I, have a feeling like my head is going to be removed from my body, I start to panic a little bit. I think that's a fairly natural response.
All right, let's keep him here for now,
I'll talk to Ollie.
and then we'll.
I don't know that
decide
he's
what
gonna
to
like
do.
this plan, but you're a great bait, Darian, so congratulations. You've accomplished something today.
Thanks. I just took first place in the shittiest competition.
Do you have a preference of books you like?
I've got them all here and this.
What?
That's all I can do. I'm allowed to read. That's about it. I read a lot.
I was offering to get you a book, Darian.
I don't think you can get me a book that I haven't read. I don't think you understand how many books I've read in the last 15 years. It's somewhere around 2,000 books.
Challenge accepted, Darian. I'll be back.
As Dakota spins on her heel and stomps her way out, leaving just Ava for a moment, if she wants to say anything. Ava eventually kind of quietly leaves.
Hey, pretty lady. Hey,
Yes.
are you going to make me go back to the cabin?
Do you not want to go back? I assume not.
Look, I get that you are like a scourge of the living world and all that has been so dubbed by hunters and you can eat us and stuff, but like even if they're half dead, they're a million times more powerful than I even can remotely comprehend. They make the laws. Not like laws of physics, but like they rewrite the general understanding of how the world operates. They can pull a rabbit out of your ass if you didn't even have an ass. They just make it up, and it's fact. So even half dead, she's a billion times more lethal than a whole pack of spooky vampires. So make sure you know that if you're going to go there and you're going to wheel and deal, you better bring some hardtack and a lot of balls, because that's all she plays for.
Thanks for the tip, Darian. But her world is crumbling, it seems. So clearly she needs some help. They need some help. If
What a
they're so
weird world.
powerful, as you say, then maybe we can work with them. We'll see. But if you don't really want to go back there, maybe you can at least point us in the right direction.
I guess until then I'll be in my bunk.
Yeah, you do that.
Try it
Ava
out
will
as
leave.
well. Eventually, going up the stairs, Dakota, Ollie, and Ava all gather. Grant left for the night.
You probably hear him sobbing for the record.
Yeah, as you walk out to the doors.
Yeah, Darian's probably sobbing.
God.
It's no wonder that they took that boy from this guy. He's a softie.
Well, he's a lot better than that Inquisition kid we had to interrogate that one time, so at least there's that.
Yeah, at least you didn't turn his brain to mush. Well, Ollie, I hate to say that we didn't get a whole lot. It does sound like, for whatever reason, Layla has a soft spot for the guy. She doesn't show up quickly, but she shows up.
He's a tool.
Correct. And if a tool goes missing and you really, really need it, you're gonna go looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll find out how long it takes her.
Maybe. I'm gonna make a run. I'll be back before, I guess, sun comes up.
So we keep him down there.
For now.
For now, at least.
Yeah. Is that the plan? Just to keep him down there?
We can keep him and see if there's any noise with Layla and the other SI.
He doesn't want to go back, you know. It
It's
seems
true.
they were holding him all but hostage.
If he goes back, they'll potentially kill him for what he's said already.
And if it's true that for whatever reason, when he shows up in Madison, the cabin comes a-calling, we may need him.
Huh. Yeah. It checks out.
And he needs to get out. So we can leave him in Madison and I guess he can figure it out on his own.
Well. Oh boy.
Here's the thing. We don't have to actually keep him. We just need Layla to think we're keeping him.
So then we just let him go?
I say you and Ava take him to Madison with you.
All right.
When you're done, his little radar or whatever draws the cabin in. You can leave him on the train tracks and let him fend for himself.
All right. Well,
Until then, I have to prove that motherfucker wrong. I'll be back.
Where's Dakota going?
Dakota makes 2 stops. She goes by the bar, Ollie's bar. She goes in the back. She goes down into Ollie's room. There was a book she gave Ollie, one she wrote. She grabs it. She cuts from there to the boat. At the boat, she gets like an old sleeping bag or something, maybe. Yeah, and then she
Dirty,
kind of
little ripped.
Yeah, and then she she boards all the way back. She'll just go down to Darian and plunk the sleeping bag through the cell holes and toss a book in. I promise you've not read that book.
what? What is it?
It's a story. I think you'll at least know some of the main characters.
All right. I can devour these pretty quick. I don't know if I'll have it very long. Probably the end of the night.
Great, there's not any homework, so take your time. I think that it'll give you some perspective on what's going on here.
I'll go in and cut his hands, cut
Yep.
the bindings and cut his feet.
Please don't make any noise. Taking tongues is really fun.
And I slam the gate shut and lock it up.
He's left there to read for the night. Browse check for the next evening, everybody.
Oh, Lord, y'all, Dakota's got to feed. Dakota needs to feed so bad.
Oh.
Molly's not hungry, but the other two gain hunger.
Y'all, I'm at hunger 4.
Well,
Yeah.
you have a domain. Go ahead.
I do. I'm gonna go huntsies. We haven't actually used it yet.
So go hunt now.
Ollie's gonna do the same.
Okay. Against what? 5, 4 for you guys right now?
It's 5, actually.
Okay.
So we only need a 1 success?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to roll 1 success over 5 difficulty here. Or over 5 difficulty. So
Man,
Ollie,
Bob,
no
you have had
problem.
some incredible rolls today.
Yeah, great rolls.
Hey, boom, there we go.
So you hunger critical.
Right?
Oh wait, no, because you rolled 2 10s at the top plus an additional 10. The additional 10 would still need another 10 for it to crit.
Right, so that
I don't
would
think
just
it can
be...
pair up.
yeah, no.
So just be a normal crit with an additional success. You both are able to feed within your domain.
And I need to heal. So I'm going to feed down on some poor person down to 1.
Okay, so this person is going to need to go to the hospital, basically.
I still basically have bullet, wounds from the 2 nights ago.
Okay, we'll say you all feed up. Do you plan on going to Madison tonight, then? And who's going?
Not it.
No, okay.
I could.
Ava can. Somebody's got to go with him.
Right.
What my conversation with Mr. Pink?
Mm-hmm.
He specifically stated that Layla the Vampire Slayer was sort of a joke, right? Like that wasn't a real thing.
I don't remember the conversation about that, but that would track.
Yeah, he thought it was a big hoax.
But yeah. I
That's
feel like I
visible.
remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I feel like that might be valuable to him to
What?
know about a rogue hunter group like that.
Oh.
Because
And
if,
you
like,
know,
he-
and you know they're at least staying on the other side of the park, of Berwyn.
so we
or-
don't.
yeah.
We really don't
Oh,
have
like
to check the
letting
joint that
him know?
much. Yeah.
Okay.
That's like I said, Dakota has 0 interest in. She hates SI. Fuck them. So
It's not a bad idea.
I mean, if you think if you think it'll add some leverage of any kind or be helpful, I mean, no stopping you then.
Front levity. Yeah.
Yeah, front levity.
Then I think. I think I will.
Okay.
I think I'd like to go see Mr. Pink about that.
Mr. Pink.
So you want to put out for Mr. Pink to meet up with him?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to his area, because I don't remember him giving me anything to sort of help with that. Like I didn't get a cell phone, you know, I didn't get
Nope,
anything
you
like
said
that.
wander into that area, and you were there recently, so there's no guarantee that you're going to bump into him this night. It might take multiple nights to get a
Sure,
hold of this guy.
sure.
Do you want to wait multiple nights to get a hold of him before you do whatever you're going to do with Darian?
Well, we needed to provide room, right? Room for the like the Run Rabbit Run sort of thing, where it's like, if he's gone, then Layla has an opportunity at coming out.
Yes.
And we know in story, according to Crowley, things have calmed down in New York.
No. The only thing that calmed down was the Giovanni.
Right, the major pop in New York. That was like a major,
That was a major event, absolutely.
but that's been months.
Now, yeah, months.
Okay. All right. So why would Mr. Pink be chilling in Chicago then if he doesn't at least have mild wind of some bigger place going on?
I mean, if he's government, just because that'd be where the government put him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot. If Wynn gets back that Darian's gone missing, then she's alerted, she's aware, and
Yeah.
she's gonna be back in the area.
So you're just going to try and get a hold. I will say it's going to take some time to get a hold of Mr. Pink.
Sure.
It's not going to be a single night thing. So my question is beforehand, I need to know if we're doing a Madison thing or not. Basically, because we're on the last hour here.
Yeah.
If we are going to go to Madison, That is going to be where we spend the last hour because that's not something I can rush.
Then let's do the Madison thing first.
Okay.
I think that's way more important.
Yep.
You go out, you even put word. It's going to be known that you've been looking around. Mr. Pink will get wind that you've been poking around. It's just going to take some time. So
Yeah.
I need to know who is going to Madison.
I mean, I will.
Me and
Ollie?
Ollie.
Ava, is Dakota going to go?
Do y'all want me to go?
You're muted.
Oh, not for the audience. I'm not sorry, just for y'all. Do you want me to go?
I mean, I think if we have the whole coterie go, that's probably fine. I don't. It's not like anything's really going to be going on here.
Oh,
I
that's
think-
not true either. But okay.
Your name is going to be important to a degree if we come to any sort of agreement with the Fae, right?
Why?
Because
Right.
the sheriff's the sheriff has his issue specifically with Dakota Rain.
But that's not the contract.
I don't know what the contract is, but specifically if his beef is with you, right? Then that tracks.
Yeah, it's to ruin his reputation, but
Oh, so then that was like a choice on his end then.
Correct.
basically,
You can't fix stupid.
Dakota's-
Okay.
Because I'm so
right.
charming, Ollie.
All right.
It's because I'm so charming. Okay, fine. Fine.
Everybody
Up
goes?
to you. You're not
It's a group
forced to go.
party. We're all
It's a group
going.
get together.
I hate it. Dakota hates it, and she sits in quiet, and she pouts in the back the whole way
As
there.
soon as like the camera zooms into Dakota's face, she says, "I hate it." And then as we zoom out, we're in a car.
Wait, are you
Down the road.
sitting right next to Darian?
Yes.
Yes.
You probably
Darian's
just
in the
Good
middle.
shotgun.
Who's driving? Ava,
Actually, yeah, I would drive.
Ava's
Ollie
driving.
gets shotgun.
Ollie, Darian, Dakota in the back, and you're riding on the highway, up 90 to 94, outside of the city streets, outside of the city limits, and into a long stretch of drive.
To Madison.
Is it awkwardly silent?
Ava has some music on, playing, but nobody's talking.
Yep, it's fine. It's a quiet ride.
I think Darian would probably say the name Dakota to see what sort of response he gets.
I give him a sour look. What?
I read it in that book. It didn't strike me as his name, and well, I'd heard you call her Ava, so it was hedging my bets.
Your deductive reasoning is superb, Darian.
It can be affable at best, but I read it. I left it back in the cell. I don't know if I probably shouldn't be showing you guys this, but I may not make it back. Either way, I just want to let you know the book is in the cell. I read it, and well, I mean, it's your truth. You're not gonna lie to you. It looks like it was journaled, so you're not gonna lie to you. And while it may be different than what I've been taught and told and drilled into my brain, I don't doubt that it's not your truth. I still don't want anybody to undergo any harm. And I'm still sorry for Rowan. Sorry. He doesn't say anything else.
And the drive will continue on that silence. Fog slowly rolling in, the streetlights on the highway buzzing by as we catch just momentary glimpses of all of their figures lit inside the glass of the car. Eventually pulling off a highway or an exit to hit a more smaller highway that's more side roads as you make your way to Madison. Things get a little strange on the drive as you pull off the highway. As you roll on and you crest over a hill that should show you Madison before you. It never does. It seems to stretch forever. The road continues to go and trees continue to go, never truly reaching the top of this hill that you always drive down. Eventually, though, that hill does come into fruition. You reach the top, and before you is another stretch of road. But it begins to break apart. give way. Asphalt becomes dirt and gravel, and the woods thicken on your sides. Behind you, you see the highway kind of disappear. Nothing more than a glint of light past the thick trees. The moon being crawled over by sparse clouds. A cool, chill early November evening. Eventually, that dirt road rumbles to a stop. A wooden display out front to show the end of the road. A familiar one to those who play just around the corner, as the car rolls to where all cars tend to park, and a walking path leads even further in. But Ava rolls the car to a stop. This is all too familiar for Darian.
Is this a stop?
I guess so. This isn't what I remember it to be.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
All right, well, get out, big boy. Lead the way.
Piles out of the car. Darian is shoved forward, stepping over the barrier, feet meeting with ground that he thought he left a decade ago. There's that feeling of chill that runs up your skin. You can feel the goosebumps coming over. Memories of the first time you arrived, and the second and every subsequent visit thereafter. But that first time, when you woke up and the walls fell away, that is the memory that surfaces most easily. And so you walk them into the woods. The car disappears behind you as the growth overtakes. About 30 or 40 minutes of walking until eventually a clearing up ahead. You can see what seems to be a flickering light. As you come through the trees into the clearing, the light dissipates, but in front of you is a familiar, rickety old building. For Darian, it's much more run down than it once was. The door that was off its hinges is now completely consumed by weeds and dirt. Little pieces of its splintered wood sticking through the ground and the brass handle sitting on top as weeds grow through it and rust overtakes. Off to the side, over by the building, tilted over, still there, though definitely overtaken by grass, is a lantern. A lantern that you used a few times to get where you needed to go. And as you kind of reach through and stop to take it all in, it's as though this place hasn't aged a day, and yet decades have ravaged the building itself. You're back.
It's all the same, but it's decaying. Yeah, well, like, what does that mean? It's like, look at it. It's falling apart. The rafters are, everything looks like it's shit. It's dying. Yeah, well, it's not my problem.
Is there some significance to this here lantern, or should we keep walking?
Just don't touch anything. I'll call out. If you touch things, then you take something of theirs, and then they come and take something of yours.
Okay. Well, the goal is kind of to, get them here, so...
She has a lead on me. She kind of always knows where I am. But now that I'm here, it's like moth to a flame.
Great. Then we can
Should
stop
we
walking.
Go inside? Inside the cabin?
Yeah, what do we see Darian do?
I'll turn on the lantern if it still works.
You walk over to the lantern and kind of grab it by its rusted handle, and it creaks as you lift it up the ground. And you kick off the dirt on the side and kind of pull away some of the grass that's got entangled in it. On the inside, you can see there is still a wick, still standing there untouched by time, just sitting in a small pile of oil.
I'll reach to the bottom side of it to grab the attached wick lighter, the flinch.
Yep.
And I'll flinch it a few times, see if I can light up the wick.
And then before long, it sputters a couple times, but keep trying, and then eventually the flame kicks on. Familiar to Darian, however, as the flame comes on, coughing for life, but eventually attaining a stability. Dancing lights pour out of the lantern, spilling all around, and begin to trail and move through the woods, winding through the trees and around the back of the cabin. Now you remember, Darian, that this is going to lead you to, I believe Matthew called an archway. And you know the very specific moves to get through that archway, if that's something Darian is looking to do. Or is he more looking to drag them out here, and is he looking to shout?
Darian wants to shout and drag them out here.
Okay, so you grab the lantern, the lights dance off. Even the kindred see that. And he begins to shout. What is he shouting? He's like, hello?
Probably pause for a moment, and it's hard to say what he would shout. I think whatever worked the last couple of times, or whatever he feels like, wouldn't immediately draw Matthew. So I don't think he's just going fairies.
Yeah. Hey, hello.
He probably actually says like keeper of hedge or keeper of, and he even tries it just to see, because
that's
he
fine.
heard it.
The reason it works, no matter the case, is because of Darian's particular condition and what Darian does. Because you carry with you innate abilities that Darian doesn't realize he has, and he never will find out. And you see him light this lantern. He begins to walk out front, and then he begins to kind of openly ask for a fae. Not like a random, like you said, not like fae, hello, but there's a method. Like he's reaching out to somebody in particular. I don't know your name, but we've spoken before. We've dealt before, contracts. You've got the red hair, and he begins to actually describe. And as he begins to describe, you all realize, maybe even kind of assumed, but as he begins to describe the fae he's looking for, it matches very familiar descriptions.
I think after a while of it not working, Darian will probably very loudly start humming the Moonlight Sonata.
Okay. And you begin to whistle, hum back and forth. Just try to rouse eventually anything. And eventually, after we'll say somewhere around like 40, 45 minutes pass, a sharp breeze puts out the lantern. And you can feel, all of you, the temperature drop just a little. The fog begins to crawl in from the woods. And Darian, you can hear ting, ting, ting of water hitting a pan somewhere within the cabin. I don't know what that would do to Darian, but it's the first thing he hears.
It's probably like every time he hears that drip, it's the jerk, it's the fear, it's the flinching.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, before long, you simply hear within the building, yes, I'm here. Stop talking. Stop. Shh, quiet. And out of the front door, in her garb, with her messy red hair and twigs and leaves all scattered amongst, and her gorgeous emerald eyes, and her beautifully bright red dress, outstrides a familiar fae. She looks around before she looks at Darian. She's like, and she walks over to you very hurriedly and kind of places her hands on your cheek before placing them underneath and kind of turning your head, jerking one way and the other. You look like hell, dear. How have you been? And she gives you a bright smile. She ruffles your hair and then kind of dismisses it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She looks up. Are you being chased? She looks past you, coyly at the other three.
Always.
Stand behind me.
But I don't think it's by them.
She looks up again. They do look somewhat familiar. Why are they here?
Because of I don't know. I don't honestly. They asked a lot of questions, and it has to do with a boy, and it has something to do with Matthew.
Matthew? Have you seen him?
I haven't seen Matthew in a long time.
If you do, bring him here. And she kind of stands up straight and pushes you behind. He tells me you have questions and my time is short, but hurry.
Hi, you may remember me from...
So we did cross paths. She looks back to Darren. I knew they looked familiar. I knew you looked familiar.
Yes, we made a deal once. Yeah, we may want to return to that, but we have some other matters to discuss.
She strides forward. You are annoying, but you're pretty. Keep talking.
We are aware that the world that you come from is currently in bad shape. things
She
are.
literally stops in her tracks, scrumples her face, leans forward, scritches the back of her head a little bit. What?
There is a plague of disease and withering.
Really? 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 That's what you're here for? You're here to find out if my world is diseased?
No, in
Be the
fact,
concern.
we were here to see if you were even interested in us trying to help stop that.
Help stop? What exactly? Could you
The-
speak in vague tones, but I'm not one. I'm
The
not one to
leak?
play your
The
politics.
abyss! It pours into everything, and you know it.
Oh. Oh, you poor uneducated animals. No. I mean, you're right. You're right, sort of. Our world was dying and falling apart for a myriad of reasons, mostly because the mortals out here are blind and ignorant. We had a deal, worked on it. I believe one of your kind was actually helping with that a little bit. But
Yes, helping.
Bringing the children.
yes, but that fell through for one reason or another, and you are correct. Things were going very, very poorly. However, there's always a way out, isn't there?
Then
I
why is it still the way it is?
Because we're using it. Because it keeps our world together. Because our world was dying. And instead, we made a trade. And so the abyss, while it sure pours into our world and so on, it keeps it together for us. And in turn, allows me new experiences I hadn't felt in, well, an eternity, really.
I cut eyes at Ollie and Ava, knowing the only person they would make a deal with.
With this simple question mark. Yeah, I'm like very I'm confused, but also like,
We all look baffled.
yes.
Well, may I make it clear? It was an accident
Oh, that was
initially.
out of
It was a
character.
issue and problem, and well, one thing led to another, and the world started to die. We had an idea. Well, I shouldn't say we. It wasn't the court. It was me and one other. But we had a plan, an idea. We knew. This is so. How do I make this make sense to your simple minds? We tied the worlds together. The land of the dead and the land of the living. Put them together, nice little knot. Allow them to. We use them for survival. It was really simple, actually, hilariously so. We took, well, like most things, mortals, always mortals. Emotions are a powerful thing. Maybe you should start feeding on that instead of blood. It might help you last longer. Take one pair, a simple pair. They'll love each other dearly, true love, not that fake love. And you kill one of them off. You just kill one of them off. Leave the other one alive.
You mentioned
As
getting
useful-
to the point.
I enjoy the story and be thankful you get my time. And when one was alive and his lover was dead, that was just the beginning. It allowed us to work deals with those on the other side. With a little negotiation and a sacrifice that all are willing to make. Our world isn't collapsing anymore. In fact, it's better than it's ever been. So I appreciate you wanting to help us out, but like always, you're a little late.
What do you do when that other one that you made that deal with? She's finished with her end of the bargain.
Oh, it's
Cuts the
done.
world.
Oh, it's done. I don't need her anymore. I don't need either of them anymore. That was just to get the hole open.
So it's already open.
Oh, it's been for some time.
The leak, is that what that's open?
That was the accident. That's what led to the plan.
Gotcha.
My fault, honestly. I didn't do it right, didn't close the hole right. Didn't know it'd land this windfall of beneficial
Gotcha.
deals.
So then why
So-
was your world falling apart? You said it was because of ignorant and stupid mortals.
It's a long story, but simply, the mortals don't believe in the things they once used to.
It seems really lazy to let someone else do all the work and you reap the benefits.
As I said, it's much more complicated than that. Powers that be vying for control as they typically are.
All right. Well, your world lives. What they gain on this side?
Who cares?
Well,
They
what
have
do you
nothing.
do? What do you do when that one that made that deal decides that they start severing those ties? They start cutting that leak into your world.
If the leak was to be cut, then a contract and deal had been broken. And they are aware of the repercussions of doing such a thing.
Repercussions, you say?
I make eyes at Ava.
Well, as thrilling as your story is.
She turns back and looking at Darian. I appreciate you bringing him back to me, though.
Oh.
I'll be keeping him.
No.
Yes. Thank you, though.
No.
We'll consider that payment for questions asked.
Darian isn't quite done with us yet.
Darian doesn't belong to you.
He belongs to
mean?
you?
Of course.
Why
called
does he
for me.
belong to you?
He's mine.
What does that even mean? He's yours. You gave birth to him?
I do not have the patience or willingness, to be honest with you, to explain the inner workings of the realms. He's mine. Leave him. Be on your way. You're welcome.
Just to be clear. The her? It's Sybil, isn't it?
Don't know what you're speaking of.
The one you made the deal with.
Doesn't quite work that cut and dry.
That's all I needed.
She shrugs. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Come on, Darian. We have places to be.
Can we have a moment with him first? Just a moment. If you've got eternity, a moment.
And she
won't-
she just kind of walks away as you're walking to her, and she ushers Darian to walk by. Darian looking absolutely confused.
This is where you're gonna have to play Darian.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
He walks over. What's going on?
What's she mean?
What do you mean?
I-
What's she mean?
She said that you were hers.
No, that doesn't make sense. She doesn't own. I didn't make a contract with her or anything.
Well, she says she's taking you.
Fuck.
What does it mean? Like,
I
are
don't
you?
know. I don't know what it means, but I can't say no to her. I told you already. She can make things she thinks real.
What is it gonna take? What's it gonna take to let him go?
Why do you care? What is
Why-
your great attachment to this man?
And yours?
He is mine. He belongs to me.
Yes, but why do you give a fuck about this
Because
man?
by law, he is mine. Do you wish to challenge Fey law?
No, don't misunderstand. I'm just trying to figure out why it matters so much that you
I don't
hoard
think I
and
could
collect things.
It's not
He's been-
something your kind could understand. to be
Clearly
honest.
not.
Your kind are useless to mine, for the most part. There was one. He had an intriguing offer. I couldn't get out of him, no.
No.
Yeah, he had dreams. Do any of you dream? And she looks to you kind of
Dreams.
curiously.
I'd heard of dreams before.
Mhm.
Dreams of music, even.
Ah, no, not this one. I forget his name. Handsome Asian little man.
Yeah, I might know someone on our side who dreams.
Well, if they have any interest, you know where to find me. Come on, Darian. And she she walks up behind him, and she simply places his hand on the back of his head, and you watches his eyes for a brief moment widen in fear before there's a loud snap and pop, and leaves just kind of fly out at you. You blink and kind of brush away the leaves for a moment, and as you realize the cabin is gone, and you are merely surrounded by woods.
I hate this place. I hate it. I fucking hate you. And I like
As
shout
it
into the
echoes
night.
through the woods, yeah, as you echoes through the forest.
This place always takes something from us. Always. I head back to the car.
She starts stomping her way back.
Why is it valuable for Kindred to dream? Why does anybody care? Saito told me that he dreamed once, and that fucker ended up dead. You know who else dreamed? The one that took my son in the first place, Mark. That eventually got back to us, remember? So now, there's another one, and the interest is just blossoming. What is the point of it?
I don't know.
Nero.
Saito was going to make a deal with her and then went back on it. I remember that much. I don't know why it intrigues her so much.
Just to be clear, I've never had a dream since I became a Kindred. You? Dakota, you had a dream? Anything?
I've only had premonitions.
Yeah, no one here has properly dreamt. Well, though, Ava did have a dream, but it was like a weird Saito. It was like during the Saito connection.
The share the senses, yeah.
Yeah.
It was more his dream than mine, I guess. I'm sorry, Dakota, that we brought you here. This is not how I expected things to go, but also how I should have expected things to go with this creature.
Well, now you know it wasn't an infection.
It wasn't an
Betrayed.
infection.
So what did Sybil trade?
I still don't fully understand. I don't know. I'm trying to, as Tracy, trying to wrap my mind around it too. It's
No wonder she didn't give a fuck about the contract on the sheriff.
yeah.
She probably fucking knew about it. I want to go home.
Yeah.
Everybody walks back to the car kind of quietly.
Get out of here. That's
Leaving is much shorter than coming. The road gives way much faster. The highway ends fast as it's supposed to. And actually, as you crest over the hill, you can see Madison behind you in the rear view mirror.
Could we have stopped? Could we have stopped and
Wherever you want.
I want to go back to Matthew's house.
Yes. You turn, as you see Madison in the rear view mirror, you kind of U-turn it and you head right into Madison. Madison actually comes to this time around. Down the sidewalk, into the suburbs, and eventually the house that is Matthew's.
This is Matthew's house. It won't take long. If he's going to come at all, it won't take long. Maybe a half an hour. And he's a bit more forthcoming with information.
all right.
Ollie
See if
steps
he's
out
still
of the car.
around.
Do you all go in, or just Ollie?
No.
Just Ollie or Ava?
Yeah, I guess I'll wait.
Okay.
I was
just
about to say,
Ollie.
I don't know that my presence will help anything.
Yeah,
I
since
will.
he doesn't want kindred.
Okay. You head inside.
And pop the flag on the mailbox, and I'll
Yep.
go inside.
And you wait for 20-ish or so minutes before you hear a gentle knock on one of the door frames leading into the living room. Okay. As you turn, there's Matthew, looking haggard as always.
A lot sooner than I thought.
I didn't think you were coming back. I was a bit surprised to see I had somebody waiting. What's up?
There's a lot to catch up on in a little bit of time. We found Darian.
Good, he's alive then.
Yeah, in a manner of speaking. We asked a lot of questions. I asked about Rowan. I asked about Layla. I asked about a lot.
I
And
hope it helped.
Matthew, we brought us back here to the cabin.
Well, I don't know if that helped or not. That place has been... It's hard to understand, really.
Well, the woman came out, and she took him. She even said that he belongs to her and that there was nothing that we could do about it.
Yeah, well, she's not wrong. Yeah, it's, he's like your boy.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, that makes so much more sense.
Sorry I didn't tell you, but it didn't really matter. I don't know
No,
who the real Darian is.
It doesn't make it doesn't matter. Hey, she why is there's darkness pouring into that place?
Yeah,
Edge.
I know.
Do you know why?
Trying to figure it out. He looks down to himself. Half the reason I think I feel like I do.
Would it make more sense if I said that she made the agreement? That she invited it in?
Why?
She said her world was dying and she needed something to make it alive again.
Sorry. That's a bit of a big statement.
It is. She said that her
what
and
is
other
she letting in? What is it? Do you know?
the abyss.
You see his eyes kind of dart back and forth, clearly thinking, I don't.
She said she made an agreement with someone and she didn't want to give up a name.
Yeah, but I don't know what, like, the term isn't familiar with me. What the hell's the abyss?
It's a place of the dead, the land of the dead. And from what I've gathered, it's a place of spirits and darkness. That's why I came through. When you came through last time, after you left, I saw some leaves. The veins painted black with black speckles. And I brought it back to someone who can gain premonitions. And she saw it. She saw that world. A wolf decaying and dying, and the trees losing the leaves and dying.
The briar wolves are dying. Yes, they're hungry.
Yeah, well, the lady at the cabin, she confirmed that with free information that she tied the land of the dead to her world so that it would stop dying and she could gain new power, new feeling.
I don't know what to do with that information, if I'm honest with you there, Ollie.
I don't know either, but it's better that I give it to you and you have it to stew on. Because now it probably paints a bit more information, more of the picture for you.
I don't know what is her end goal? The world is...
She said that our world, the mortal world, stopped believing in the things that they used to believe in, and therefore they were dying. So she was talking about
It doesn't make any sense. Does it make sense? You don't understand how
does
these
this make
things
sense to you? She said that she was taking people's emotions. She was taking lovers and then taking one of the lovers and killing them and then harnessing their emotions like food. And she wants you, for the record. I heard her say that.
What she did?
That's what she said. I don't know if that's what she did, but that's what she said.
Is that why she took her from me?
I don't...
Is that the reason she took Lilia from me? Did she say Lilia's name?
She didn't say a name.
All that to save her fucking world? And what, now we all die? She feeds on emotion, do you understand that? They feed on emotion. What is tying her world to the land of the dead gonna do for her?
Then maybe she's feeding on the dead. All those people that are stuck in the abyss, they are probably emotional as fuck. And that's just a smorgasbord.
If that's why she took Lilia from me, I will kill her myself.
Then help me help you.
I don't know how.
I'll be back. I'm gonna stew on some things. I'll figure some shit out and putting some pieces together. I'll come back, look for the flag up. That's how you know it's me.
Yeah, I have an idea. I'll see you next time. And he kind of pushes himself up, gritting his fists, and he just walks out the back door and with a loud leaves puff as he leaves.
All right, I'll leave.
Ollie, within about 45 minutes or so of heading in, is heading out. You only know because the door opens and he takes a seat. Ava kind of rolls off intrinsically from there.
Yeah, he's pissed. He's pretty upset. Darian was like Rowan. Remember I said he was made from sticks and leaves? Well, he was made. That Darian was sticks and leaves. That means that there's another Darien somewhere else.
And you killed one that was sticks and leaves.
Yeah, the woman.
Teacher.
That means
That
that
explains why
they're
it
probably
was
still
hers.
alive.
Yeah, and the Styx one is our Fae friend. That's why it's her property, I guess.
He's pretty upset. Remember how she said that she was taking lovers and killing one of them to harvest the energy or like food from the emotions of the other?
Right.
Apparently that's what happened to Matthew. Remember I always said he was really missing Mario Kart? That's one of his fondest memories of being with his previous lovers, that they would play Mario Kart together. And she took him. And I still don't have any idea how the Moonlight Sonata ties into any of this bullshit.
I don't know either.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling that you're going to be meeting up with your Toreador man thing that came out of torpor, because he's dreaming, and that's valuable, particularly to that woman in the woods.
Yeah. These dreams she seemed particularly interested in. Maybe she would want his or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in.
To even think about.
Oh. Why did she make this deal? She seems so confident that everything's fixed.
The question shouldn't be, what did the Fae get out of it?
Correct. The question is, what did Sybil get out of it? We know what the Fae got. The Fae got some makeshift battery
Right.
that fixed all their problems and are feeding them the way she talked about it. She seems to be drawing energy or power. What the fuck did she get out of it?
I don't want to keep aiming you in directions, but I'm bringing back memories from season 1 that are clues that may have been long forgotten. Old kindred are what?
She's feeding on them. She needs
What did Mark go after in season 1?
Power.
power.
What was that power?
Power was Fae blood.
Fae blood. So Dakota immediately says she needs them to feed on. She's super old, and when she wakes up, she's going to need the best blood she can get her hands on. And I've heard through the grapevine, Fae blood is rather potent. I can't hear you, Ava.
She wants to feed on the Fae.
They're
Because if a
giving.
Methuselah wakes up, what's scary about a Methuselah waking up for the viewers and whatnot is a reminder. In order to sate their hunger, they're gonna have to tear through the city. If she needs to do something, if she needs to be awake to do something, she needs to feed the hunger before she can do anything. Because the minute she wakes up, hunger's gonna take hold. If she has a plan, then she needs to be able to sate that hunger the minute she decides to rouse.
She's got to. It's like the pig, right? With Ollie.
And it does come with the danger, as we've all learned in season 1, that Fae blood is, for most kindred, breaks your brain. It's too much. It's too mystical and.
Is she powerful enough to handle that? A lot of it?
I don't know. And how exactly is she going to get to it when she wakes up?
You know, this might be a bit of a history flip, but like every part of your body's a muscle, right? You start out real weak until you start working that muscle. But then it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And she's old. She's real old. Probably amidst the oldest, at least, that I've ever even heard of. So, and even in torpor, she's been working that muscle, her mind, controlling her influence, pushing it out into the world. If Fae blood is that strong and it can break people for everything, what if she's just got the right sweet spot? What if it doesn't bother her? Just supercharges her, breaks that hunger.
I thought exactly.
So it won't destroy her brain? Is what
It
you're saying?
might, but she's
Could
a
just
lot,
be a gamble she's willing to take.
right?
Honestly, it sounds a lot less like water on a fire, more like gasoline on the
Yeah.
fire. It sounds like it's just gonna
Plus,
turn it up
if
to
the
11.
real plan is to say get rid of your sire, you open this up so they can come through and you can wipe it all out. What better way than to be supercharged?
So the deal's already been made. She's already ready for this. Essentially, when she wakes up, she's gonna get that Fey blood. But we can't really stop that.
And there's nothing we can do to break her contract.
No. So she's already
You've
got
never
her...
tried breaking a contract yet, so you wouldn't know if there's a way to break a contract.
Because here's the thing, if Civil doesn't come through on her end of things, the contract is unfulfilled.
We can go to court. No.
Go to the museum. We're taking the Fae to court. This is the only way to stop the world from ending. Please don't tell me this is a stacked court, because we need the world to not end.
So what, Okay. What did she actually give them? Access to the Abyss, which means what, they have Oblivion powers? Is that even possible?
When Ava even had minor access to the Abyss, she had access to Oblivion. And she
So
was...
she's souped up the Fae with the power of Oblivion. Right? No wonder they feel all jacked up.
Yeah, well, it's not helping all of them. The wolves apparently haven't eaten. They're all dying. The Briar wolves. That's what Matthew called them. They're all dying.
Must have been
And
what you
Matthew
saw.
She doesn't care.
Matthew's dying as well.
She's got what she wants. She doesn't need to tend to
Darian
the rest
didn't
of
look
the
well
hedge.
either, did he?
I mean, for all intents and purposes, though, he is like a human, and he was also kind of a shut-in.
No,
so he
I
was-
mean, say it's true that the Fae do have the real versions of Darian and the woman you killed in the woods, and who knows how many others.
Oh god, my brain.
Their physical representation here, their other body, the second one, would be struggling.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
We need to lay eyes on the second Rowan.
Yeah.
The problem, what we do know is that they don't have the real Rowan. We don't know if they have hands on the real Darian. Maybe it's because they're on the other side. Trapped. Maybe they're holding him hostage. She clearly wanted this Darian back.
Yeah. Shit. That's... Oh, I fucking feel so bad. Oh my god, we gotta get that guy out of there. Like, even if he was Styx, like that's just not a way to go, man.
It's unfortunate.
I wonder if Layla knows.
I don't know.
I don't think any of them know.
You don't think any of them know?
I don't think any of them know. I don't think the Lupine know. I don't think most Kindred know. I don't think the SI know, or Layla. I don't think any of them know.
I mean about... Okay, hypothetically speaking here. Darian and Ida were supposed to be close. The way he talked about their time in Madison seemed to be strenuous.
Yeah.
If he's not for really real, and he's just sticks and stones. His other friend that you killed in the woods, sticks and stones.
Yeah.
Who's to say that the Ida that Layla didn't put a bullet through didn't turn to sticks and stones? It would have cued her in on so much. She didn't come looking for Darian until after she killed Ida. Darian's not a leveraging chip. She's not interested in him. He is her access to the Fae.
So do you think she knows? You think
I
Layla's
think
informed?
she fucking knows.
If you are correct in that she killed Ida? Oh, yeah.
She figured it out instantly.
So then why isn't she here? Why isn't she in Chicago? Hunting asses down.
Yeah, that would be a big deal if her Fae connection went missing.
Probably the same reason we're not, because we don't have the power to. Not on that scale, anyways.
To also feed this into your character's brains, you don't know what the fuck is happening in New York. You do know that even Bella has said she's preparing for something from the east. So it literally could be
Oh,
just
great.
it's more important.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it really is just something's more important is happening in New York.
Not
Maybe.
everything has to be a conspiracy. I know I make it seem like it.
Not saying it's aliens, but
Exactly.
But if it comes down in a flying saucer and probes you,
Exactly.
Well, maybe we just need to give her some time. Our good old friend Layla. She's got more important things to worry about right now.
I bet you Layla would be really interested in knowing the full truth. Might be a nice bargaining chip to let your son go.
The full truth about the Fae.
I have a
including-
feeling that we have all the information that we need to get Snitch on our side.
I don't know.
What do you think's gonna happen when the abyss breaks through, and she gets more than she's bargained for? She gets sure. Big Daddy Vampy comes through, but do you think it's just gonna be him?
I just don't know if it's the right time to tell Snitch. I don't know that we can trust him yet, Ollie.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know if it's the right time, but we are.
If we
I feel
spill-
like we're reaching like some end game here. There's some big plays
there
that are being
is.
made.
We still don't know. I fear bringing people in too early. We don't have enough answers. Right? If we bring him in too soon and he spills the beans, then we're fucked.
Think about how long that it took him to seat Maxwell. Snitch is a planner. He's a
used to
plotter,
waiting. Yeah.
and he plays a long game. And I really don't think that he seated Maxwell just so he could seat Sybil. It just doesn't make sense. That's why I think that there might be some truth to his story of trying to do what's best for the Nas.
I don't doubt that. It's the only thing he seems to care about.
I think we could end up telling him sooner rather
What this
than
boils
later.
down to is you're both right. We don't have the power. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the super manpower. We haven't been working for decades to charge a battery for us to harness to fight some big ass war between our sires. It's just not feasible. So unless we try to make a much bigger deal, which we can't because we don't have that kind of buying power, or we try to I
No,
don't
then
know,
we
it
just
sounds-
give this problem to somebody that has the power that can handle it.
who can?
Or you can bottle it until you put yourselves in positions of power that give you the resources to do
We
it.
just need some time. If we move too quickly, we'll fuck this up. We don't have the power yet to be able to even sit at a table with Snitch and have him believe us. Even after this time, I couldn't get Bella to believe me about the sheriff. What's gonna say anybody, Jackson, anyone that we need on our side is gonna believe us. We
All
don't
right.
have what we need now.
Let's put a pin in this then. This is vital information that I think we can let Snitch in on. But Dakota brings up a good point. We need to be in a better position before we make a move.
Well,
We still have to think about the Rowan thing, though.
and the boon you have with the rather powerful Nos.
It's true. That I'm still simmering on.
We have tools on a table. They're just not particularly organized in a way that makes sense yet.
Well, this trip killed my vibe. I want to go home.
These aren't even tools. They're all daggers. And right now they're pointing in all directions, and we just need to turn the dagger the right way.
It's right. I think we should.
I feel like we're at the point where we just need to lay our cards out on the table. Because nobody is going to want what's coming to be coming. The werewolves, SI, fuck, Cretius? You think Cretius going to lay down and take this? Hell no. Think of all of the men he's going to lose out on. No way. That's a lot of booty he's going to have to pass up on courtesy of her personal vendetta.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't know how. How do we lay these cards down? I can't even get the lupine to do anything but spit at my feet.
We bring him proof. How do we bring him proof? And what is proof?
They told me not to show up again.
We can wait.
That's kind of what I'm suggesting. I think we all need to simmer. Wait.
I think we can wait on the lupine, right? We can wait on them. They're gonna have to make that play, but they're still waiting. But there are others that are a bit more antsy, that aren't as long-winded. Their candles burn faster. The SI, they're already poking around Chinatown.
I think the SI should be our first attempt at an alliance with this. The SI, then our kindred allies, then maybe the lupine.
I still don't like it.
Oh, I don't like any of this. It's just a shit sandwich all the way around.
I still don't think we have enough power to go to any of them.
Nah.
We have no bargaining chips. You want to lay your cards on the table, but we have nothing in the pot. We have nothing to bet.
What if we start with Rowan?
You have, again, you could easily lay the boon at Painted Lady's feet and say, we need help, and here's what we know. I'm not saying it's specific. You're not looking for people who are going to align with you specifically. Sure, you'll find some. But it's more about building a network of people you can lean on when you need to, who won't ask any questions about why you're calling on the boon.
Yeah, I don't know how to use that boon to our advantage when we don't really have a play. It doesn't matter if we cash in on it if we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We can bring all these people to the table. We can fill all the SI in. We can fill the lupine in. But we're still not in on their play. And in no way do we have control of the situation. We don't know what we're doing.
Don't bring them to the table until they owe you. And the way you planned on having them owe you is by putting them in positions of power. And once you've seeded them and helped them attain power, and you've attained power yourself, then you have boons. And then you have people who owe you. That was the talk last time the three of you were together, was seat Jackson as Primogen first and have a Primogen who owes you a huge favor. It's about building the favors first.
We're still waiting on that Elysium to be called.
Yep.
Because it's gonna get called.
Yep. And the SI do know something's going on in Chinatown. They let that on last time we talked to them.
Yeah. But we could really lay it on them, I guess.
Well,
Quiet.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm feeling real useless, y'all. I'm going to be honest. I don't have any cards to play at the moment, so I'm going to keep quiet. And
You also have McTavish. You smuggled him in.
yeah, but I have no idea how to find him or where to
even know what
find him
McTavish
or
is.
why.
What's a
He doesn't
McTavish?
even know me. He only knows
Yeah,
Ava.
sure.
He's
Yeah, but Painted Lady knows
Bruja.
him.
We help.
He's the one that they snuck in.
Ah, okay.
And he's a well, they realized that he's militarily trained,
Yeah.
and he's got a Scottish accent that I can't pull off.
It's like he's a good guy to have.
Again,
around.
another good gunner, another good soldier.
Yeah, but he's not on our side, technically.
So how do you get him on your side? Go talk to him. Go talk to the Painted Lady.
So
See if you can get a meeting with him.
This is the
Yeah.
Anarch guy.
Yep. This is
Okay,
the Anarch.
I think technically everyone is on our side unless they want the world to fall into the darkest night.
I was gonna say, I think basically everybody's on our side. It's just a matter of how
'Cause
to let them in on it.
Yeah, when they find
and-
out that this is all a big personal vendetta.
You just can't start telling the people at the top of the food chain first. You got to get the
Right.
people below them to believe you and have the information trickle upward as you have people who support you. Going straight to the prince with the information with no proof, like you said, is silly. But you can get people below you or people who know you or people you've worked with to believe you. And then through that, you build your power base. And then you build from there to sit people in positions. Again, we've all talked about this on after shows for those who may not have seen it. I feel like that plan doesn't change. You just now have answers as to what's happening in the hedge and what's happening with the Fae. You made one assumption. You were half right. You got the answers. You're still exactly where you were last session, though. Plans shouldn't, there's no need to accelerate the timetable. Things aren't going suddenly faster now because you know what's happening. You just know what's happening.
I have a really awful idea.
Yes.
How do I get the SI to believe that there's something way more at play, way stronger than Kindred, and deliver on my end? I get both
kill
Rowans in a
Rowan.
room,
And you let the Rowan die.
and I let the real Rowan kill the fake Rowan.
I was thinking that, actually.
In front of the
That's-
SI.
That's proof.
That could certainly be proof.
Well, I can get the fake Rowan. I know where they keep him.
Yeah. Real bizarre and odd bit here. How valuable would an asset be of the sheriff? He's wanted proof that there's way more going on way above our pay grade. And he's loyal to the Camarilla, right? Without fail? To a gross
Supposedly.
degree. He's higher up on the chain, but he's not a primogen, right? He still makes a lot of shots. And he feels like he's probably going fucking crazy right now.
Well, I can't get him around long enough to fucking tell him the truth. It's not like I haven't tried. And if you're asking me to work with him, I won't until he says he's fucking sorry.
No,
think
I don't think I'm gonna try to work with him. But I think it's all in the lines of an enemy of my enemy.
I'll head to the Painted Lady tomorrow night. We saw
Sometime
him
in the
there
next
once. Maybe he'll be there again.
Sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna have to come back to Madison. Matthew said he's got an idea. He needed some time to work on it.
I guess I'll talk to Edith.
Talk to Edith about what?
Didn't
About
we,
our plan?
didn't we just say about getting access to the gangrel anarch?
Yeah, you can do that. Who the Painted Lady would be the person to ask.
Do we want to do that right now, though? I thought we were kind of sitting on that.
I
mean,
would
we
say
can.
we should sit on the bigger plays. The SI and the Lupine are much bigger. Jackson, much bigger. Snitch,
Okay.
much bigger. She's way more likely to work with us and give us the small things. And
Okay.
I don't have any pull in any of those. Like I said, I'm
Right.
having to wait on the Lupine to come to me, which may never happen. So the only thing that I can do is ask for some time with some other gangrel.
Okay. That makes
Car
sense.
rolls up to the movie theater as everybody kind of piles out, saying okay, kind of letting everything percolate to the surface. Ollie, do you have something you need to say? Okay. Oh, you went to thinking.
I am thinking, but it's not done rising yet.
Sure. It'll be after show material.
Yeah.
And as everybody in the coterie begins to say goodnight, frustrated with one another, not frustrated at the situation, but also walking away with a little bit more answers to certain aspects. We see as the coterie scatters. But we watch as Dakota walks down around Chinatown toward the Gold Coast. Before there's a bit of a heavy footsteps behind her, Dakota whips around to see what's coming. She sees a face she hasn't seen in a few years. You can quick wave down. It's a gangrel that you haven't seen in a while. The one that once sat on the Anarch Council.
Oh, fucking Molly.
Did you say something?
I said
saw-
Molly. Molly.
Oh, okay. I thought it just didn't
yeah,
hear
nope,
anything.
it was just an exasperated sigh of her name.
Yeah, and as Molly approaches, she kind of keeps her head down, stops like a good 10 feet.
I'm not looking
Just
for a
what-
fight tonight, Molly.
I ain't looking for one either. I just want to talk.
Now?
Doesn't gotta be, but I'm free.
Do you like boats?
Sure.
I gesture and bring her on the boat, and we'll go out on the water, because I do not
as
feel
you-
comfortable sitting around on the shoreline talking with an Anarch Council member.
And as we see the two of them climb on, you just hear Molly kind of say, "Have you heard?"
Heard what?
News south of the border. Don't be stupid.
That the anarchs are shitting their pants and there's not really any structure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard some shit fell apart.
Yeah. I don't got a place to call home. Can we talk? I got no plans to leave in Chicago, okay? So let's just have some words.
Okay.
As you says that, the engine revs up to the boat, and you begin to putter out to the lake. But the camera hangs back, and that conversation will be the first thing we have on the next episode.
Interesting.
Okay.
What could Molly want?
And that'll be
Alright.
it. Anthem, take it away.
Okay, yes. And also, this is something I forgot to mention, but the next episode will be in 2 weeks' time, because next week we
I'll be
will
gone.
have a one shot. It's gonna be exciting. We're not gonna reveal it quite yet, but keep an eye on Twitter because we'll be announcing that soon. It's got to get everything finalized first, so keep an eye out. Tune in next week. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be a different kind of thing.
Ooh, boy.
Oh boy!
Yes, so thank you very much to Combat Zerg for supporting today's episode, our legend tier supporter for this particular one. And there's some things going on the Patreon. We had the Soulspire Floor 5 post recently up on Patreon, and there's a few things on their way. In 2 minutes' time, you'll be able to catch the MP3 and the after show for the most recent episode of Ascension. And then in the coming week, there'll be the NPC names post for this month, so you can submit some more names for NPCs. And there will also be some more behind-the-scenes GM gubbins from Ascension as well. So keep an eye out for all of that stuff.
Sweet.
But anyway, let's go through who we've had on the show today. Let's start with our GM, Mathis.
Hello, I'm Mathis. You can find me here on Saturdays. You can find me on my YouTube channel. Every Friday, there's a vampire podcast that we do called Stitch of Fate. We've got 2 more episodes of the season, so go listen. There's only a few more, 15 episodes total. They're all an hour each, so they're easy bites. Go ahead and take a listen. Chilluminati podcast for myself as well. If you want to see me doing my main thing, go listen to that podcast. It's paranormal, true crime, comedy stuff, good times. And that's it. So I will leave it there. I'll hand it off to dear old Dot.
Oh, I'm Dot, y'all. Sorry, I was not expecting that. I'm Dot. I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me online as Little Red Dot. I play games and roll dice all over the place, lots of different places. Oh, and you can now catch me as the Twitch producer for Kobold Press, so come check us out throughout the week. That's the thing I'm doing now. Bub!
Hi, I'm Bub. I do Bub things all over the Bubbernet, and I'm doing things. I've got nothing, guys. I'm just doing all kinds of stuff. It's a super busy time. Loads of tabletop, lots of video games. Just come check me out on twitch.tv/thebubbernut, and I'll catch you there. We'll talk about anything and everything in between. How about you, Tracy?
Hi, I'm Tracy, also known as Miss Magitech on the internets. Like everybody else, I'm doing lots of tabletop and video games, so feel free to follow and hang out on the stream or the Twitters or the Instagrams, wherever. I'm all over. So yeah, feel free to hang out. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Time to go do the after show. Goodbye, everybody.
Yep, you can check that out on the Patreon, of course. Also, there would be tips, but I can't access them, so that's why
Thank you
that's
for
not
those who
happening
tipped.
today.
Yes,
but
if you
we appreciate it.
tipped, yeah.
We'll read them out tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry, gang. We're a little light on tech today.
It's all good. We'll see you next time,
You're
everybody.
still great,
Goodbye.
though.
Bye,
Thanks, Dot, for your
everybody.
tech.